Oh, there's another one right now. Wow, you just walked off
Okay.
screen.
Go ahead and open it.
Oh.
Go ahead and start.
It's already live.
We're live.
We are live.
Well, we're a minute. It's a minute. There's a minute delay, but we're live.
All right, awesome. Welcome to Welcome to On the Couch with BG on Screen, coming from you live from Family Weekend here at Bowling Green State University. We are actually in the Bowen Thompson Student Union right now in this lovely theater. I still do not know how we got this theater. We were very lucky. But today we're just gonna have some serious conversations, still be a little goofy, just relax, get a feel for what this next semester is gonna be like. And hopefully you guys enjoy it if you're actually watching this. So, who's next? Who's up?
Talk.
Just
Talk
talk?
for a bit.
Okay. It's really... This theater is very cool. Victoria, get up here.
Wait, hey, Victoria, are we watching this so we can get audio levels, or?
I already kind of looked at it.
It looks fine.
Okay, so I don't need to turn off down one of these or anything.
So,
There you go.
something about this makes me really nervous.
It's live.
I've never been on a live stream before.
Don't worry, nobody will watch it.
Probably not, actually.
It's 10:30.
However, it is on the internet for everyone to see.
That is very true. And remember, this is a PG broadcast.
I know. I'm gonna have difficulty with that.
Sam, I don't think you need to be the one to be the reminder in this. I think Victoria needs to remind you.
It was more reminding myself.
Fair.
Actually, I think maybe I do need the reminder.
I think our generation is just very desensitized to swearing.
Anytime you swear,
If we have a button
get
for
police
swearing.
sirens.
Okay, awesome.
That's cool.
But this is also going to be an actual episode, if I'm not correct. If I'm not wrong. It's going to be edited down. Is that correct, Nathan? No.
potentially.
Potentially.
But this is honestly my intent is just to put this up live. To put the video, leave the video on demand up.
If you're watching the VOD,
Hello.
Fast.
That is so weird to think about that. Hello.
I know. And then you look at it on your phone. Like I was in the chair over there looking at it, and it's like a minute delay. And I'm like, wow, I'm watching Nathan pass. This is really weird.
Did you know that every time you look up into the night sky, you're looking at the past?
Yeah, because of the way that light works.
Isn't that crazy?
Did you know that they think they can actually time travel that way?
By going the speed of light?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how time travel works.
I know.
Did you know that we technically have already time traveled, but just like one electron?
I know. It's
like the electron.
Time is weird. It'd be cool if stuff was like Doctor Who.
Be cool. It'd be.
Yeah,
I guess so.
And we had
I'm trusting you.
It's a booth.
Oh, sorry, a police box.
I was watching that last night actually.
I heard it's good.
I
heard it's divisive though.
Nathan apparently hates Rose, and I'm incredibly offended.
Hate is a strong word.
Who's Rose the Current?
No.
She was the first companion for when they rebooted it. So she was the companion for 9 and the first companion for 10.
How long was it between when it first ended and when the reboot happened?
So the last, so the reboot started in 2005, and so they did several seasons, and then they did a made-for-TV movie that was supposed to kick off, and that was 1996, I believe. So there was, so there was a good decade before they brought it back, and it's been going strong since. They're still making new episodes.
Yeah.
They just announced a new Doctor.
Right, I remember that.
I'm excited about the new Doctor.
Yeah, because he's a young black guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually introducing diversity for him.
There you go. You know what's really cool about Doctor Who that I find super interesting? There's half of the original episodes from the 60s are gone.
Yeah, you cannot access them. A lot of them, they're lost to time.
Watched them, and it kind of makes me upset.
Well, do you want to know why that happened? It's because the BBC just kept on taping over stuff because they didn't want to buy more tape. So what they did, sorry, we're having some technical difficulties.
That was weird.
Anyways, so what they did was they literally just took all the tapes that they had and they either wiped them or they went over them. Usually both.
Well, I guess during that time, kind of storage was kind of in short supply.
That's true. People didn't really recognize the value of the pop culture at the time, too.
No.
Which is pretty crazy.
like storing stuff for later was not necessarily something at the forefront of people's minds.
Did you know that films just used to explode?
Bro, so many films have been lost from the early 20th century.
It's not coming through.
What?
We have some sound issues. Zoe's watching it up there. We don't have good sound.
Why don't we have one?
We're gonna turn on all of these.
So we have some.
Well, no, the actual. I'll say the conversation.
Yeah.
Turn off desktop audio.
We
That's
are
just me.
gonna
That's
talk
just
about
sound coming
the
out of my computer.
conversation about intro to film.
Where are
I'm
you?
actually doing I have a speech class, and I'm actually hearing a informative speech on mass media.
Really?
It's really cool. I love that sort of stuff.
Sam, do you have microphone? Do you have volume control on the mics?
No, we do not.
Well, that was quite loud.
There's something shaking in this microphone.
I heard it too. I think it might have been a single thing.
Try it again.
Does my voice get louder with the volume control back there? I don't know.
I just hear a buzz now.
I also hear a buzz.
The buzz isn't really picking up on the thing.
Are the levels better?
Good.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Oh,
What is this?
y'all are peeking over there.
She is not.
I think I'm not peeking. There's something in the microphone moving around.
That's not good.
No.
All right,
but
have
it's
fun.
not
I'm gonna go get breakfast.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Maybe
lost
talk
media.
like slightly louder than your normal speaking voice.
we were talking about lost films. and
Like
how
that.
they're lost.
Like that's good, Sam.
Thank you.
You're gonna have to tell me if it's good, Alex.
Slightly louder.
I am a soft-spoken person. This is going to be difficult.
You can just put it closer to your mouth.
Yeah.
Not that close.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to do that to the
Mhm.
microphone.
Yeah.
No.
You may have to get it slightly closer.
Like here, put it like right in front. Like don't put it in an angle.
Right.
That's
Right here.
much better.
I feel like a singer when I do it this way.
Well, I mean, hey, you got to do it.
Whatever. Fine.
Yeah, that's much better,
Jeez.
Victoria.
Okay. Anyway, lost media.
Stuff's crazy.
Well, I'm really into records. I don't know. if you
Ooh.
are.
Those are fantastic. Like vinyl records.
Yes, vinyl records.
Uh-huh.
Not like I don't know files records. That's weird. Who's into that?
Mhm.
But
There's some archivist stuff there.
yeah, there is. But I don't really like.
But you're cool, and you like vinyl records.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
I'm a bit of a hipster, you could say.
You're a little quirky, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I'm a little quirky.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we just got a sound system in my apartment, actually. So we have my turntable, and then we have a receiver, because you need that to, listen to a vinyl record, because,
Right.
Analog is weird.
Mm-hmm. But cool.
Yes, it is very cool.
Mhm.
We don't have a CD player, though, to hook up to, which makes me very sad, because I have a lot of CDs.
My mom has a bunch of old cassette tapes that we have a small cassette player for.
See, they weren't cassette tapes, but we had a lot of VHS tapes. Every time I would go up to my grandmother's house, we would watch old Disney movies. Like, do you remember, like, the old intro to Disney movies, like the At Home thing or
Yeah.
whatever?
I do remember that.
Every time I hear that, it just
Coming
brings me back.
to a DVD near you.
Coming soon to own on DVD.
That's right, that's right.
Exactly
By the
that.
way, I just wanted to point it out that we have our lovely technician, Alex, behind the camera. So just want to give him a little bit of
If
credit.
you hear any disembodied voice, it is Alex.
Yes, that is me.
He's doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we have Nate back there,
Nate is
too,
also in the crowd.
with emotional support.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
What?
I can't tell what you're saying. Anyways,
He doesn't have a microphone.
yeah, he
so.
does not have a microphone. But anyways, back on topic.
What were we talking
You were
about?
talking about Disney movies on
the Disney
VHS.
movies. Oh,
I have a
okay,
bunch
have
of-
to show you.
I have a bunch of Disney movies on VHS. Like I collected them for a bit while. I have like a good amount of like the classic animated ones on
Okay,
VHS.
So I'm not sure. Sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
Alex. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. However, I'm very, very proud of this mug. I don't know. If you
It's
can see
slightly
it.
out of focus, but
Okay, well, if you,
He'll get the idea.
describe what it's on it.
okay, well, if you've ever been to Hollywood Studios, it has a bunch of like stuff from that. So there's Tower of Terror, which by the way they're changing. Pretty mad about that.
They're changing it at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, they changed it in.
So they're.
at,
I know they changed it at California to Guardians. Are they changing it to in
Yeah.
as well? Oh wow, really?
As far as my understanding goes, they were testing it out at
Okay.
Disneyland,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were like, "Okay, this works," and now they're rebrandying Tower of Terror in Disney World.
That's odd,
I don't know.
especially when they have like some of the Marvel stuff like in Epcot. But I also don't know what their plan is.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff happening at Epcot. Last time I was there, half the park was closed.
Well, yeah, because they have the new Guardians ride there now.
They have the new Guardians ride, and they're also
Doing like a Moana thing. They have the Ratatouille there now.
the Ratatouille one's cool.
They got the
Yeah,
rat.
they got the
Do you
rat.
ride in the rat?
You do ride in
You
the rat.
actually do, yeah.
Actually, you ride in a rat.
You ride in a rat, yeah.
Yeah, and you like go through like the kitchen and stuff.
So
Yeah.
you control the
Yeah.
Do you guys? Is there a part where you're in a chef's hat and you're controlling him?
No, I don't remember.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
But no, it's like the whole thing, the perspective from like a rat.
Are you controlling the rat?
No.
No, it like goes on like a predetermined
It's
like
a-
track,
Unbelievable.
like
Well,
predetermined path.
It's weird because
What's
they have
trackless?
Yeah, they have this new technology that's trackless, which uses magnets.
Oh yeah.
So, as my understanding goes, the route you take is not the same every single time.
Also like switches.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's
So,
the
like,
same.
Does it like hover, or like is it just like really close to the ground?
It's just really close to the ground.
Okay.
It's not like repelling magnets.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That would be sick.
It would be sick. I think that the future of floating cars is magnets repelling each other.
But they would have to
Be really strong magnets.
be
Yeah.
And,
really
That-
strong
that's
magnets.
That's the problem.
and also you have to like if you have to do it, you have to replace all the roads and like have it be set intervals so that it works.
Wait, what happens if the car flips upside down? You just get crushed in between the road and the car.
That's true. The entire car would have to be
Okay,
replaced
so-
with something other than metal.
I didn't say that my thought process was completely thought through. I just thought
There's
it was,
magnets on the roof as well.
I just,
There you go.
I
There you go.
just thought it was interesting.
I'll try spinning. That's a neat trick.
There you go. Anyways, back to film because this is a film.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try to keep things film related for this
Oh,
live
yeah.
stream.
Okay, so
Lost films.
lost films. You know, a lot of the stuff that was shot on film was destroyed because they didn't know. Well, I don't know if they didn't know how to or they just didn't dedicate any like resources to actually conserving the actual like film reels.
Well, it's funny that you asked that because, as I told you,
You're researching this.
I am researching this for a speech I have to give. But what it turns out, the actual film stock that they used was made of nitrate, and so
Oh,
turns out sodium nitrate, I believe. Turns out silver nitrate. I apologize, silver nitrate. Turns out it's very much an accelerant, which means it helps things catch on fire,
oh,
which is not the best idea. And so what happened was, because like a bunch of stuff was made back in Hollywood, back in other times, people didn't really know at the time how frail film was. So what they would do is they would just put it in a tin can and throw it in a gigantic room filled with other film, old film that they weren't using. In Hollywood, it gets 100 degrees outside. Turns out people like smoking a lot back then. And over like 90% of films from back in the day have been lost either through nitrate.
that is really unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate. Sorry, folks, we're having some.
I think there's something wrong with this microphone.
I don't know, maybe, but it looks like it stops pretty soon. So hopefully it's not too big.
It's not
Hopefully
super continuous.
leaking.
Mhm.
It's not.
Yeah, there you go. But no, so like 90% of silent films are basically gone forever, and it's actually really sad.
Well, the other
It's
thing.
unfortunate.
Well, the other thing to keep in mind is like once a film had a theatrical run, that was it. Like there wasn't a home video system or anything. Like
Right.
you made the film, it got released in cinemas. That was done. Nobody else ever touched it.
Well, I
Mhm.
mean, there wasn't televisions.
No,
Not until like
not until really the 50s.
40s was like
Late 40s, the 50s was really like the start of
when
television.
it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even then they didn't really show movies on it.
No.
It was more just like shows and
Oh
talk
yeah, there's
shows.
that, and the majority of the population didn't have television.
Exactly.
Well, because a lot of television when it was first starting was just like live versions of like stuff that was on radio. So like vaudeville,
Mhm.
like performances.
Oh my gosh, this is something I want to talk about.
Mhm.
So, I think that the way that like content has developed, I think it's making a circle. So, if you remember an intro to film, they were like, "Oh yeah, the first clips are like just daily life stuff." I think that's what vlogs are now. Literally just showing people's daily lives,
That is very true.
which I think is really interesting. How stuff like goes in a circle like that.
There is a theory that like stuff,
Oh,
what goes around comes around. I mean,
100%.
literally.
History repeats itself.
We kind of had that whole era, like the past like what 6 years, where we were like, "Yo, the '80s were sick." Now everybody's kind of moved on to the '90s,
Yeah, you're right.
and now everybody's kind of moved on to the 2000s with My Chemical Romance coming back. So I mean,
That is not something that I would like to come back.
but you don't like My Chemical
No,
Romance?
I like some of their stuff, but I don't love all of it. Dun, dun, dun. Stop.
Victoria, you can talk. You like.
Victoria likes 21 Pilots.
Yeah, but that's not 2000s rock. That's 2010s rock.
No, I know, but like.
Get your act
Okay,
together.
What is their most famous song?
Probably Heathens from the Suicide
It's either-
Squad, or Ride, or the Stressed Out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's either Heathens or Stressed Out. Just something from Blurry Face, the album.
What's your favorite song?
Nate asked what
I
her favorite song is.
Oh yeah. My favorite song, I don't know, it varies from whenever they release a new album. Right now it's Mulberry Street, which is based on
Mulberry Street.
The Dr. Seuss book?
no. No, it's based on the beat from Benny and the Jets, the song.
Oh.
And I think, like, when I was, not this most recent tour, but the previous one, when I went, they did this really cool thing where they started out with Benny and the Jets, and then it morphed into Mulberry Street, and
Oh,
it was
that's
very clearly sampling that song.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was really cool.
That is cool.
But not everybody agrees with me, clearly.
I mean, you are completely entitled to.
I just
your
haven't heard the
opinion.
song, so I can't give an
Well,
opinion.
You should listen to the song.
Film. What were we talking? Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Wait.
lost stuff.
Lost stuff.
I actually
yeah.
know a few cool examples of lost stuff
Really?
that people really want to find.
Okay.
So like you know the guy Lon Chaney and his son
No.
Lon Chaney Jr.
No.
Well, Lon Chaney Jr. played the Wolfman. He was the
Okay.
original Wolfman for Universal.
Okay.
But his dad was also like a really good actor. He played a lot of silent movies. He played I think he was the first Hunchback of Notre Dame. He played
Oh.
him. At least in the most famous early version of that. He played the Hunchback.
So they just play weird little guys.
basically, yeah, he was an acrobat, and he actually did all of his own makeup.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And he was like, it looks really good. But yeah, his father, Lon Chaney, funny enough, I believe he was the one who died of throat cancer around the time that talkies became a thing.
Wow.
So it's kind of ironic, you
That
know.
is ironic.
But no, yeah, his father had a movie called London After Midnight, which was a horror movie from 1927.
I feel like I've heard of this.
It's a very famous lost movie, and the story is Lon Chaney is a detective who dresses up as a vampire to find a murderer. He like stalks the streets of London.
Okay.
So very Jack Ripper-esque.
Yeah.
What are the chances of finding it?
I mean,
Like,
the chances of finding it are very, very low, considering it was, back in the 20s.
So how do they know that it existed? Are just people talking
There are
about
still
it?
there are
Word
still
of mouth?
posters around. There's still production stills.
Oh, okay.
They did keep records of like oh, we made this movie back then,
Interesting.
and Lon Chaney was like, yeah, I did that before he died, obviously.
Well, yeah.
But like it's extremely rare to find stuff from that period and even when it is found, most of the time it's found in archives or like private collections, and for some reason people like
lame.
Nate just went, which I mean I can sort of see there are people who have like private collections of like film stock.
Yeah.
They are very, very stingy. They are like, I don't want anybody else to see this, which is kind of ridiculous.
On the one hand, I understand, but also share the wealth.
It's literally, it's a piece of history.
It's history that I mean, a lot of people are interested in it.
Exactly. There are rumors that copies of One Night at Midnight exist in private collections, but the chances of them being seen for a while are very slim.
Yeah.
Unless somebody finds one in like Argentina, which is surprisingly there was this one film that was fine. I
Really?
found that because they would ship films around.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
You want to actually
you can't
just show it in one place.
Yeah.
There was for the longest time Nosferatu was lost.
Dude, I had to watch that for a paper. I wrote a paper on Nosferatu.
It's whatever.
Did you hear that their Robert Eggers is finally doing his remake of it?
Robert Eggers is making it.
Really?
Bill Skarsgård is the vampire.
Oh, that's Pennywise, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. But no, Nosferatu was only found in the 70s, I believe, and so they had no idea what it was up until that point.
There's like 5 different versions of the film Metropolis because like
Exactly.
that well part of it was like versions of it that have like a new score and whatnot, but then also like there was a version of it that like a good chunk of the middle was missing, and then like several decades later it was recovered.
In
And-
2008, they found a nearly complete copy.
Yes.
In Argentina, which is what I
Yeah.
was thinking of.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's
does
up with Argentina and lost
does
movies?
Argentina just keep movies?
I mean, hey,
I mean,
somebody's got to do it.
I guess you're right. Somebody does have to.
Which
Why
by-
Argentina though?
I don't know.
It's like kind of a random country.
Which, by the way, though, Metropolis, fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
I haven't seen it.
It's probably like one of the most.
It's
It
a
is
German silent science fiction film. It's probably like
Fritz Lang.
it's one of like the basically I guess like the first mainstream science fiction film ever.
Mhm. It had like the first like full-on automaton.
Yeah.
character.
Maybe I have seen this and I just forgot it.
Yeah.
Do we have to watch this for class?
I
I
watched
the sequence of it for like all the workers
Yeah,
like
I
walking.
had that.
There's been clips in like stuff.
we probably saw clips of it in History to Film.
It was used for Radio Gaga for Queen's music video. They
Really?
used
Like, you
clips
didn't
of
know?
it. Mhm.
The people listening to the live stream will can hear you really, really, really loudly,
Okay.
and them not so much.
Interesting.
So
So you want us to talk
they
about
need to
it?
talk louder.
We
Alex,
wanna
you need
talk
to like whisper.
No, yeah. I mean,
It's definitely just due with proximity.
yeah.
to the microphone.
But I think it's so fascinating to find lost pieces of film because there are film stars from like the late 1910s and early 1920s who they did like 20 films. Like if they had a good like stint as a movie star, all of them are gone. We don't know any of what the movies were, and it's incredibly sad that these people are literally wiped from history and like the
Yeah.
effect that they had.
I mean, so many careers are lost. I mean, there was a lot of women
Oh yeah.
in the early film days, and honestly, this is something that I like to research on my own.
Mhm.
But there was a lot of like women and female directors in the beginning that were actually very prominent and like did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And then something happened between I don't even know when. I don't know when, but
Mhm.
they just like totally got overcome by the male part of the industry.
Yeah.
30s and 40s.
Yeah.
30s and
And then
40s.
30s and
Well, the
40s.
Hollywood system
Yeah.
and all that studio system. But I mean, actually, sorry.
Alice Guy.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Alice Guy Blanchet.
Yeah.
Or Alice Guy.
That's
There,
right.
there's at least 3 or 4 that are just very prominent
Like she had
in the early
200
Mhm.
film credits
Yeah.
Wow.
There was a
and
lot.
various roles, and she's forgotten.
She
Yeah.
owned a production company.
There's a lot of like independent production companies when that whole like Hollywood system came into play that
Mhm.
women owned.
Yeah, not just women. There were black filmmakers like
Yeah.
Oscar Micheaux is like a really famous one.
Yeah.
I actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because I remember I don't know if it was lost, it might have been, but I think some college has the first ever filmed thing of a black couple kissing on film, like for the first time, or it's a black couple in general,
Yeah.
like on film. And it's like a 5-second loop, and they're wearing like Victorian era stuff, and you're watching, and you're like, that is insane that still exists.
Yeah.
That is so cool that exists. But like we said, more than half of it does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
You want to know a really crazy way they
What?
found some movies one time?
What?
Back in, I believe, the 70s, this family owned a theater, and they I think the person who originally owned it died, and they were like, okay, let's knock down the theater, let's build something new. So they started excavating. They knocked down the theater, started excavating. In the dirt, somebody buried like 200 film canisters of old silent movies that
Did those survive?
they survived.
Is that
Wow.
like Beaver Creek?
Something like that. I know it was in America,
I saw that.
but it was like they were encased in. It was somewhere cold because the ground was hard, and film obviously it's not like heat, but when it's cold, it does like that, and it survives much longer in cold. So this at this point it's over 100 years old, but the film was excavated and it was preserved. Insane stuff.
It's
And
just pretty crazy.
it is really crazy. And I mean, hopefully one day we'll find a lot more, but you never know.
I mean, as the years go on,
The chances of finding
chances
it,
just go down.
because the actual film stock literally disintegrates over time
Yeah.
because of the chemical reaction within it.
Well, speaking of old ways of making film,
Mhm.
I heard that you want to make a short film using VHS.
Look at that segue. Oh my goodness, we did not plan that, folks.
So I'm trying to not put this in.
It's been in my head for the last.
We just lost it.
You guys good?
Camera just did something. We might have just lost.
Oh,
No, it's
no.
Why would you move it?
I just
Because
thought
Alex
it was
needed to get
a
up.
segue, too.
We're gonna see if we can do this without someone sitting
Can
here.
you check if we're still live? Yes.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
No, we're on Twitch.
Welcome to twitch.com slash
We might start doing it.
Oh, wait.
Look at this.
On the
BG
couch.
on screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the couch.
Are we still running?
BG on the screen.
Mhm.
BG on screen. Right here.
There you go.
Right
BG
here.
on
We
screen.
might be having technical difficulties, folks.
If
we're kind of
not, buy our
technical.
shirts.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we don't.
We don't have any
we
shirts.
don't sell shirts.
Well, we will.
We will. We will.
I'm gonna talk about. I might have some.
Oh, okay.
Nathan will talk about it later on.
Wait, I have no idea.
Any update, Nate? Update, Nate.
Oh, it's
There is something wrong with this microphone.
There really
it's
is.
still running. The delays. Do we have video?
Oh,
I hear Nathan.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay,
It's just a little more delayed than it
If
was.
you can't tell, this is our first time doing a live stream.
Indeed, we apologize for
And
being
also
inconvenienced.
quite possibly our last.
Maybe our
We want to rotate.
We
yes.
shall see.
Yeah,
Victoria, do
we
you
had
wanna
a
leave?
long, great talking point about
Mhm.
old stuff.
You ever get really fucking
We get to talk about my movie.
Oh, you're right.
No,
you're
I'm
right.
joking. We don't
No,
have
we
to.
can talk about your movie. This is like PG on screen. This is like,
That's true.
you know,
That's true.
you don't
It's a
ever.
BGSU project too.
Yeah, you don't ever get to talk about your projects. You always ask us.
I guess so. That's true. I'm not going to discuss the actual content of the movie. I'm going to discuss more or less how I plan on making it. But yeah, I want to make a movie, a really schlocky, terrible movie on VHS, because there actually was a wave of people in the 80s, of like amateur filmmakers, who just they didn't have anything better other than consumer grade cameras, but they made full length movies shot on video.
This is what I mean. The repeat of history. People do that all the time right now on their phones.
And it looks fantastic.
I mean, arguably, phones are more advanced than a lot of things from the time you're talking about. But
We're basically
still.
carrying supercomputers in our pockets.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. But no, yeah, I'm really excited about it. Hopefully, my camera doesn't break down. My 30-year-old camera doesn't break down in the middle of shooting. But that's just the problem with working with analog stuff. And then after that, I have to take all the tapes back and run them through my VCR, through my TV, into my computer, capture all of them, then put those into an editing software, which sounds very fun.
So do they not have you don't develop VHS tapes, do you?
VHS tapes are already developed.
I was gonna say, I know they digitize film. Is there not anybody that digitizes VHS now?
I'm sure there are, but it's really you just send it off and get it digitized.
Well, yeah.
But I think it would be a lot more fun to do it by hand, do it
Yeah.
by myself.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the point.
I mean, I already have a VCR.
Yeah.
And all the stuff
Yeah.
to do it.
So how do you have this stuff? Like, is it from your parents or is?
Well, no, actually, I went into it knowing that I wanted to do it, but I didn't
Okay.
have a camera with me. So, through the glorious magic of eBay, I looked up VHS camera. Thankfully, it hasn't gotten too popular yet, to where people are like, "Oh, I have an old VHS camera. Pay $500 for it."
Well, you know that's
It's coming.
It's coming back.
It's coming.
It's going to.
But no, I got mine, which is a really big camera for like $80, which is really good. And
I've seen it. It's actually really nice.
it works perfectly. I've tested it. It works fantastic. But I did have to get new batteries for it. But like, the thing is though, it's not regular batteries. It's a battery brick. So it's literally like that long, like that tall. It's like that thin. So it's like a whole brick of battery, and you have to stick it into the back of it.
So do you charge this battery?
You do charge the battery.
Okay.
It comes with a charger.
Well, I would hope so.
Well, naturally, yes.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it takes like 3 hours to charge a battery, and the battery lasts like 30 minutes. So I mean,
Well, that's just.
How many
working
backup
with
batteries
old
do you have?
I have 2 batteries.
I'd get a third.
They're like $40 each.
I'd
Because
get a third. If
they're-
they only last like 30 minutes, I'd get a third.
yeah, I probably will. But no, yeah. I mean, that's the fun of working around. I mean, you have to improvise in the moment.
Well, it makes you appreciate
Makes-
digital stuff
Exactly.
so much more.
Film appreciation?
Be good at film appreciation.
Oh,
Have you taken cinematography?
I have not. I plan on doing it next
You
semester
need
though.
to because there's a learning curve with actual film cameras, which
Oh, yeah.
by the way are like incredibly old.
Ostrowski has a collection of really,
Yeah,
really old
honestly,
stuff.
I love to like his office, just a treasure trove. Honestly,
I walked into it once and I like looked on the shelves and I was like, this should be in a museum.
it's like walking.
It belongs in a museum, everybody.
It's like walking into a room that was like frozen in time 30 years ago.
It's really crazy. I also was looking at stuff the other day where they actually used like 16mm film, and but instead of they shot stuff, but afterwards they added effects by actually scratching the film. So like when you play it back, it has a cool scratch effect on it. Like they take an X-Acto knife and actually scratch the film.
I don't think I'd have the guts to do that.
Oh, I would
I mean-
100%. And they paint over it. They
Yeah.
burn it.
I know they do some really cool stuff with it,
Mm-hmm.
but I would be scared. Like, I mean,
Of ruining the
I
film.
honestly I was scared of loading a camera. Like,
Well, that's the thing. Did you guys use 16mm or 8mm?
16.
it
Oh,
was
that's how I messed
16.
it up.
Did you expose an entire roll of film?
No.
I accidentally
See, here,
watched
I'll-
the end of
Do you want me to? Do you want me to?
Yeah, sure. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
okay,
Nathan?
so we're gonna have
better off.
Nathan.
Victoria,
join
thank you
us.
so much for showing up.
I-
for being our first.
yeah.
You'll probably be back.
Well, hopefully.
Oh,
Here's
boy.
Nathan.
There you go, Nathan.
Hi everyone.
Hey, Nathan, how are you?
I'm doing well, Sam. How about you?
I'm good. How was your Starbucks?
Warm.
I would hope so.
And it's sustenance. This is my breakfast.
But no, but you've taken cinematography, am I correct?
Yeah.
That is
at
just
the same time.
at the
as
same
Victoria.
time as her.
We were in the same
that's
class.
just if we that button is if we swear.
We filmed our projects the same weekend on the same equipment.
Yeah, Nathan.
Oh, I get the swear button.
How long were your projects in the end?
So the final project, you get 2 rolls of 100 feet.
Oh, so like
16mm
4
film.
minutes, 5 minutes. Because
3 to 4
100
minutes,
feet.
depending on, because you're allowed to do multiple takes on the final. You should do more than 2 takes, but you're allowed to do multiple takes on the final.
Because 100 feet gets you 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
So it was good,
Mm-hmm.
but there was an in-class lighting assignment where we had to do a whole bunch of like different lighting setups.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the one who loaded the camera for that assignment. Professor Ostrowski can vouch for this. If he ever watches this, he's probably not watching this right now. And
He
there's
might
no-
show up.
And there's no chat because this stream is made for kids, so there's
Very
no
true.
chat.
Mm-hmm.
But I loaded the camera and it went great for like 20 feet of film. And after that, something dislodged in the camera and ran the remaining 80 feet of film and didn't capture anything because it all bunched up inside the camera.
That's what happened with Allison's final project. There was a
I
good
heard
chunk
about
of
that.
there was
It
a good
wasn't
chunk of
pretty.
it that
Well,
got
she had issues with the camera too.
yeah. No,
Seems the
it was
cameras are not good. I've heard there's only 2 cameras right now.
oh
I heard that the lab only has 2 cameras
For
in
the
use right now for
entirety
the
of
entire
cinematography?
cinematography. Only
Wow.
2 of the ARESs are available.
wow.
All of the others are in for maintenance, it seems.
Well, they are older than us.
They are older than my father.
Yeah.
Those cameras were made in West Germany. West Germany doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, those. Yeah.
Wow,
Oh, my
that's
coffee is cold. Oh.
Victoria's coffee is cold. I don't even have coffee, but my Starbucks is warm. I recommend putting that in a microwave.
What'd you get?
Caramel apple spice, or as Victoria will refer to it, my hot apple juice.
It is hot
That's
apple
what it
juice.
is.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're not fooling anyone.
Steamed apple juice, cinnamon syrup, caramel syrup, whipped cream, and a little drizzle of actual physical cinnamon, and it's fantastic. I can't swear.
But no, apple cider maybe.
A mulled cider is great, but it's not like this. This is a different thing than a mulled cider. I love a mulled cider, not for like regular consumption. This is my regular consumption hot drink.
Like he worded it's your regular consumption hot drink instead of just saying this is usually the hot drink I drink.
There's only like 3 other hot drinks I consume. Tea,
Say drink.
drinks.
Only other drink. There are only other 3 hot drinks I drink.
Consume. I'll do a hot tea every now and then. Usually decaf. Hot chocolate is the go-to, obviously.
Of course.
And a mulled cider. I don't do coffee. I've had coffee twice in my life, and both of them are bad decisions.
Coffee is very overrated.
So the first time I had coffee was in the summer after between 7th and 8th grade. I was on this trip. My grandparents had to pick me up from the trip and bring me home.
Why do you remember all this in relation to your coffee?
Because I've had coffee twice in my life, and both of them are memorable events. And because it was terrible.
Trauma.
Nate might be right. There might be some trauma responses here. Yes, I have the swear button, Alex. It's right here in front of me. Are you going to censor me?
I don't trust you.
Alex doesn't trust me, folks. I'm an officer in this org. I am the executive producer for this show. I know. I made the rules.
You were very close to swearing, might I add.
I was. I caught myself.
Very recent.
I thought I was going to be the first one.
So,
I will be the first
Yes.
one.
So yeah, back in the summer between 7th and 8th grade, I went on this trip, and I had to get picked up by my grandparents to bring me home. Because the trip ended in Maryland, and my parents started in Maryland, we live in Ohio.
Naturally.
My grandparents live in Maryland, so they picked me up. And they took me to church with them that morning because it was a Sunday, and that's part of their routine. That's their thing. Fine, whatever. I had church coffee.
Ooh.
Church coffee is not coffee.
Church coffee's not.
It's cardboard. Very bitter cardboard.
Cardboard in a liquid form.
You know what else is liquid cardboard? Chocolate milk.
Did you actually just say that?
No way, the avid milk
Yes.
drinker says that.
I do not.
You just said
I will drink chocolate
milk.
milk only if there are no other milk options available.
Chocolate
or
milk
slight
is
milk substitutes.
cardboard?
You know what? It depends on the milk. Like if it's out of a carton, it is cardboard. 90 times out of 100, it is cardboard. 9 times out of 10, that fraction simplifies. That's some math right there.
I don't understand a thing you just said.
So I will drink chocolate milk at the Oaks only if they are out of white milk entirely.
Okay, the chocolate milk at the Oats is good.
It's okay. You know what? It's the best chocolate milk I've had in a long time, but it's still not great. I've had better.
Are you guys eating like German chocolate milk where like they put like
Yes.
actual pure chocolate in it?
Yes, I have had. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
German chocolate is fantastic, by the way. If anybody ever gets a chance.
Honestly, I've never been to Germany, but I've had pure German chocolate with like the Ritter Sport stuff. Amazing. I
Fantastic.
highly recommend it. You can find them in the States, get them. You can find them in Germany, smuggle them back into the country. Do not do that. Do not break the law.
We do not condone breaking law.
It's actually not illegal to bring the chocolate back. It's just like the dogs will go off and they'll be like food
Oh, right.
because they're not allowed to have it, so they won't. Don't give your dogs chocolate, folks. Do not do it. Don't do it.
Or
I have
grapes.
stories. You know what? I'm going to tell a story about dogs getting chocolate.
Okay, go ahead.
So for context for this, my father is a veterinarian, and I've worked in veterinary for 3 years. I know some things. So we used to have 2 dogs, two big dogs. One was a German Shepherd mix named Scout, and the other was a Lab mix named Kenzie. Yes, those of you who are in the room right now.
That's really ironic.
Yeah, I'm aware.
His girlfriend's name is Kenzie as well.
That is true.
That's why it's ironic.
That's been a strange conversation to have. there was one evening that we went out to dinner. This was probably like 2016, 2017, I don't remember. It's been a while. We went out to dinner. We got back like 7:30 in the evening. Maybe 6:30, 6:37-ish. And so we'd gotten this like in not industrial, but like wholesale size bag of chocolate chips, like the stuff you put in chocolate chip cookies. It's like a 3-pound bag.
3 pounds of chocolate chips.
Yes.
Okay.
And this lived in our bread drawer,
Mm-hmm.
in the bottom drawer of the.
Are you one of those people who have a bread drawer?
We did not buy the house for the bread drawer. It was just there. We don't use it for a bread drawer. We use it for plastic bags now.
House solely because
Our
of the
bread
drawer.
lives in the refrigerator.
Okay, that's even worse. Bread in the refrigerator?
It doesn't go stale as fast.
Yeah, if you put it in the refrigerator.
And when you have a large
it will
family,
not.
you need to buy like 6 loaves of bread.
That's
You want to freeze it and refrigerate it so it doesn't go bad.
Yeah, I put bread in my fridge too.
Zoe's right. Zoe does things the right way.
Because if you leave it out, it just molds really quick.
Our treasurer is yelling at us from on high.
Out of the fridge.
Or you leave the regular loaf of bread that you're consuming in the fridge and you put the backup in the freezer and it won't go bad.
Oh yeah, if you put it in the freezer, it'll be fine.
Bread that is frozen is fine for months. Oh yeah, if you get fresh bread, don't refrigerate that. But like if you get like pre-packed loaves at the grocery store,
Victoria has a question.
Victoria has
Go
a
ahead,
question for the
Victoria.
audience.
I have a question from the audience.
Question from the audience. Okay.
So if you have a family big enough to need multiple loaves of bread to put in the fridge, how do you have space in your fridge for said bread?
It's a big fridge. So I'm gonna amend that. We also go through when I'm home, we go through 7 gallons of milk a week. When I'm not home, they go through 4.
That's so
I
great.
go through 3 gallons of milk a week when I'm at home. This is not an exaggeration. I've been told this several times.
How do you drink so much milk and
Is that
your
healthy?
bones are still like
I've
messed
never
up?
broken. Actually, it's not my bones. It's not my bones. My bones are fine. Thank you very much.
I wasn't insulting your bones. Just saying that if a little
I
known,
have the greatest bones in the history of bones.
a little inside known fact about David.
I am not David.
Nathan
Please
over
do not
here.
call me David.
Uh,
Is David watching this? David, if you're watching this, you should text me.
anyways,
Don't do that.
Nathan's knee is very, very messed up.
Sorry, knee singular.
Isn't it just
Well,
one
the
knee?
one knee is messed up. The other one's gotten bad to compensate.
Okay.
We only have one viewer.
It's Zoe.
It's Zoe.
I'll watch it
Honestly,
later, it's
thank
fine.
goodness.
You know what? This is fine. This is an experiment. We're doing this thing. If I was hoping more people would actually like come in from the outside.
we're
Can
getting
you hear
walk-
us out there, people?
We're getting materials out of this.
I saw a couple like
Somebody walked in earlier and
they worked.
kinda
They
left.
worked for the university.
Okay, I was about to say. And I
They
was
were
like,
checking on us to make sure we're not breaking any rules.
Right.
Yeah. So back to the story.
Mm.
We got back. So back to the story. This 3-pound bag of chocolate chips was in the bread drawer. And if you know bread drawers, they're like big drawers, and they've got like a plastic or glass like lid on them that slides back into the cabinet to get the bread out.
Mm-hmm.
We knew the dogs knew how to open the drawer.
Mm-hmm.
They've done this before several times. We didn't know they knew how to remove the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And this bag of chocolate
May I
chips
take
was
a
like
guess and say
brand
that
new.
they knew how to?
Well,
take off
we
the
discovered
cover?
they did when we got home.
Mm-hmm.
So we got home like 6:37-ish, somewhere in that time frame. We walk into the kitchen and there's the shredded bag of chocolate chips, completely empty. This has been almost a complete bag of like 2,000-3,000 chips. I don't remember the exact number.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, well, the dogs got in trouble. The
Mhm.
cats didn't do that. That was definitely the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know how you make dogs get rid of chocolate?
You
You
make
feed them hydrogen peroxide, and
What?
lots of it. You force feed your dogs hydrogen peroxide
I am taking this.
safely.
Can I?
Yeah, Victoria, go on. Come on.
Do
You
not
can
do
take it.
this without the recommendation of a veterinarian.
No, I want to.
I am not giving veterinary medicine advice. I am repeating a story that happened under the supervision of a veterinarian. I have other stories about veterinary medicine and dogs doing stupid things. We'll get to those.
Mhm.
So, we didn't have enough hydrogen peroxide to get both dogs to vomit.
Does it make them throw up?
It does, because it you know how like when you put hydrogen on a wound, it fizzes, right? Like when it starts fizzing in their stomachs.
Ooh, so
And they don't like
throw it
that,
all
so
up.
they vomit everything they've eaten, which included the chocolate chips. But the thing about dogs is they're stupid, and they
Facts.
start to eat the chocolate chips. They just vomit it up off the hillside,
Mhm.
and this was a 4-person job.
Mhm.
One person to hold the dog, one person to force feed hydrogen peroxide, one person to go to the store and get more hydrogen peroxide, and one person with the hose in jet mode spraying the chocolate chips off the hill.
Oh my god.
This took an hour because the dogs kept eating the chocolate chips they just puked up.
That's disgusting.
Dogs do that though. Oh,
They were fine. Both dogs were fine. They were just stupid and decided that they had access to the chocolate chips. These are the same dogs.
Mhm.
So we have a vegetable garden. We've always had a vegetable garden.
Mhm.
Our dogs love broccoli
Mhm.
and green beans. Scout, who was the lab, not the lab, he was the shepherd, notoriously once, when presented with the opportunity of raw steak and raw broccoli left on the counter unattended, went for the broccoli and left the steak.
Aw.
This dog would have gone vegetarian given the choice. I'm not exaggerating. He preferred vegetables over his actual food.
Is it true that I've heard this before that the lethal dose of chocolate is for if it exceeds every gram of chocolate in comparison to the pound weight of a dog, if it exceeds that,
There's charts to that somewhere. I don't have that memorized. That's not
Okay.
my job.
that is what I've heard. Go ahead, Victoria.
No, no, I just want to talk about dogs.
This is a
You'll
film
get your
show,
chance. You'll get your chance.
Okay.
but you came on because
So-
you wanted to talk about cinematography.
We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that.
I'm the
I already
host.
told that story.
I can tell.
You only have a job because I give it to you. So
You gave me the job to host the show, which involves dictating what we talk about.
you know that's a good point. What do you want to talk about, Sam?
Don't worry, Victoria. We'll get back to dogs again. No, but
He will not get back to dogs.
I
He will.
will.
He will get back to dogs. I have no control over this man.
I did actually want to say because you've been in the org. When did you start in this org? It wasn't your
I-
freshman year.
I joined this org in September of 2019,
Mm-hmm.
my freshman year.
Wow.
I have been in this org for 3 years. This is my 4th year in the org. This is my 2nd year as an officer in the org. I'm the secretary right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one who sends the weekly emails and manages all the social medias because that's also my job.
If you've noticed recently,
That's my mic, folks. That's my mic. I apologize for that.
wait a second. Anyways, so you of all people know that we've seen a recent uptick in people actually showing up and the level of productions that are being
It's
made.
amazing. Like, okay, when I started in BG on Screen, there were 11 of us, 12 of us.
Mm-hmm.
We met in a small room.
If somebody was already signed a contract with us for the previous episode, does it matter that this edited?
They need to sign for every episode they show up in, unless they're Sam, in which case there's a contract slip. He signed that already.
You didn't have to say that because obviously it's not me. But no, I'm a sophomore and I was there last year. And
Last year we had our maximum number of people was 23.
no, we still had a good amount of projects last year that even though they might not have gone anywhere, they were
We had a
still
lot of
talked
pitches.
about.
We had a decent amount of pitches last year. We have a full pitch schedule right now, folks.
Mhm. I pitched my movie on Wednesday. So
oh, really? How many
I-
pitches are we doing this semester?
So right now we have 3 upcoming projects for workshop or writer's room.
is there an acapella group outside?
Yes.
There is an acapella group right outside the room.
They're very good. I'm sorry.
They are.
continue.
We have one project that's already moved into the production stage.
Mhm.
That was Samson's videography thing.
Correct.
The photography happened this week. I think Nate worked on that. I heard there were some complications. Nate has no responsibility for any complications. That was not his job.
It's facts.
BG on Screen is a volunteer-based organization. You do not have any responsibility with the project you start. If you are running the project, you have no right to be mad at people for saying, "Hey, I have other things to do."
It's very true. Very true.
But we have, so you're pitching the production.
Indeed.
Wesley's pitched the production.
Mm-hmm.
We need to hear back from Wesley, but that's supposed to be like filming in like a week.
Yeah, it starts really soon.
It's supposed to film next weekend.
Ooh.
I haven't heard anything about that in like casting or anything, so I don't think it's actually.
Knowing Wesley, he's got it.
Hey Zoe, if you're watching this, do you know anything more about Meet the Neighbors and when that's filming? Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I'm the assistant director. I was texting my mom.
Nate's the assistant director. Nate's in the room. Whoa!
It's filming the weekend before fall break.
When's fall break?
Fall break is.
This weekend. So it's filming in a week.
So it's filming on the 8th and 9th.
Yes.
Do you have a cast?
I talked to Wesley about
I think Wesley messaged me about being in it, and he hasn't given me any details of when this is. He's supposed to be doing that because BG on screen officers require that stuff. I emailed him yesterday, and he's supposed to send me production documents before the meeting on Wednesday, so we can go over them after the meeting on Wednesday.
We didn't get the
Rip.
I like how you guys call it the Eva when it's obviously the Ava.
I'm playing the dad's boss.
It's definitely the
You're
Ava.
the I'm playing the mom's boss.
Is it not the Eva? It's the Eva?
It's the Eva St. Marie Theater.
I always thought it was Ava.
Well, it's A.
No.
Just because you like Asian gallery.
No, that's not because of the anime. It's because
Well, no, it is because of the.
no, because there are people who have that name who are just EVA and it's pronounced Ava.
I have seen EVA spelled Ava, so
Yeah.
we also have another Ava in our organization. Actually, it's 3 people that are now collectively referred to as Ava. So we have 3 people of our org that are notoriously referred to by the wrong name because some of the other officers are confident about names. And it's not just the officers; some other people do this too. So our president, actually, Alexa, is apparently the same person as Victoria, who you just saw on the couch here. This isn't a couch; this is a chair up here on stage. If you were watching this live stream,
This isn't a stage.
You know what?
We're trying our best,
It's
folks.
the stage in my heart.
We're trying our best.
And Alex, who has been the voice you've been hearing next to the camera for most of the morning.
Possibly too loudly at points, but you know what? It's okay.
So Alex, Victoria, and Alexa are now Ava, because apparently I can't tell them apart.
Actual people.
We have
Welcome.
people in the room.
Oh my goodness, hello. And is that a parent I see? Oh my goodness, hello, welcome.
Sam, this is your show. Do your job.
Yeah, sure.
I'm putting the microphone back on the thing.
Awesome.
Now we have guests.
We have a guest. Would you like to be on the show? We're live streaming right now. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Come on down. We might talk about dogs.
I don't even know what I was talking about.
Maybe keep it here.
Let me actually get an extra chair real quick. I'll be right back.
Do we have more? We do have more chairs. I keep forgetting we have more chairs.
Oh,
We have a whole rack of chairs here.
I didn't realize.
Bye, Nate.
Bye, Nate. God, yeah.
Papa Squad, join.
Nothing.
Now, I'm so sorry. You were at BG on screen the other night, correct? Could you remind me of your name, please? Cassidy. And you are? Nice to meet you, Addison. You actually want to grab that microphone right behind you.
Alex.
Thank you so much, Alex. If you guys want to share that. So, you were at BG on screen on the couch, which is an episode that we did Wednesday this week. What did you think about it?
It was like really fun.
Like really close. You put that really close. You can just grab it yourself if you want. You guys can switch back and forth. No, you're fine. So, like, did you like it?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, you actually gave me an apple last week.
That's right. I did give you an apple. We did this thing where do you remember what my question was? We did kind of a speed dating thing.
It was the body pillow one.
We at BG on screen have been throwing around the idea of merch for On the Couch. This is my show, sir.
Okay.
There is currently no
You're being
merchandise
cut
for
off
BG
right
on.
now.
There is currently no merchandise for BG on screen. We're getting that sorted out, but there might be body pillows. If Sam agrees to that, we're not entirely sure at this point.
Nathan, you were not in the frame.
You put half in the frame.
And as Nathan said, we are throwing around the ideas of a body pillow being made, but we shall see. But no, yeah. Did you enjoy the apple?
No, I didn't eat it yet.
You haven't eaten it. It's like 4 days old at this point.
That apple was picked last Sunday.
Has it been refrigerated?
No, it's like on
Well, then now you can't eat it. You cannot eat that. That's all right. That's all right. You are a freshman, correct?
Yeah,
How are you enjoying it so far?
it's great.
Don't be afraid to put it close.
Really close.
Like you can talk like right where I am right now. There you go. Just so people at home can hear a little bit better. But you are you a film production major?
Yeah, film production.
Ooh, how's that going so far?
No, it's really fun. I really like my classes because I'm just like taking script analysis and then aesthetics of moving image.
Oh, you're taking aesthetics of the moving image?
Yeah.
Do you have Castillo?
No, I have Crompton.
Oh, both good choices. Both good choices. Crompton is the British one, correct?
Yeah, he is.
That's who I have not
This is
had.
why this
Wait
is
a
the bit.
second.
I have not had him yet, so I haven't had the
I'm
name.
like, no,
I've also
I'm like
never
his
had him in a
favorite
class.
student.
So
Victoria is Crompton's favorite student.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is he a good teacher so far?
Yeah, he is.
That's good. That's good. I had Castillo for aesthetics of the moving image, and he is a applied aesthetics,
I don't know
and
what
he
you're
is
calling
just wet cardboard of a man. If I could describe him in any way. I absolutely love Castillo. Castillo loves me, but if you ever have him, you will know exactly what I mean. I don't think he's ever made more than 2 emotions in the class, other than, all right, guys, we're gonna do something today. And then he's like, yeah, but he literally says, hey guys, welcome. If Castillo watches this, we love you, Castillo. Don't get it wrong. But since you're a freshman, and since we are, relatively you're senior at this point. But do you have any questions about like any advice? And if you don't want to say anything, obviously, do you have any advice about what you would like to know about the program, about school, anything that you're uncertain about so far?
Just like going with the flow.
That's probably the best thing you can do right now. Do you don't go here, do you, Edison? No. All right. I'm trying to think. Oh, I had this planned out. I apologize. What is your favorite movie? Because I figured we were probably going to ask that to everybody.
Yeah, and I always have it like planned out because like as a film production major.
Got it. People always ask it.
Okay, so my go-to is like for now is like V for Vendetta.
Really? I have not heard about that one in a long time.
I used to be for Vendetta.
No, it's V for Victoria.
I don't know.
Are you not a film person?
Oh, I love movies.
Uh-huh.
I just can't tell you my favorite one.
That's all right.
I guess I'd say like Coraline because I love like the art style.
Coraline's great. And it's also really scary. That's a scary movie.
I was obsessed with it as a child. It like didn't scare me. I loved it.
Isn't there like a whole like community dedicated to like theories about Coraline? Because I remember it like being a really deep movie.
I haven't heard any theories.
Ooh.
There's definitely theories about
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of theories about Coraline. So you learn something new every single day.
Mm.
Are you in college yet?
Well, I am taking CCP classes at UT.
Oh, okay, awesome. Do you know what you want to, like, what field you want to go into?
Something art related.
Absolutely. Obviously. What else would you do? Making money? Who's that for? I'm joking. I mean, have you guys ever been on a live stream before?
No.
Don't worry. I literally think there's still only one person
There are 2
watching.
people watching.
There's
right
2 people watching right
now.
now?
And I know who both of them are.
Who is it, Nathan?
Who do you think, Sam?
Is it Zoe and Victoria?
No.
I'm not watching it.
Zoe is one of them, yes.
Who's the other one?
Nathan?
Nope, it's not me.
I mean, Nate?
I've been popping in and out just to
Wait, who is that?
Then who is it?
Well, I
That's
said
for you to find out later.
Wait, is it Kenzie?
Oh, it's Kenzie. That's his girlfriend. That's Nathan's
He hasn't
girlfriend.
responded, so it's true.
I nodded.
But have you met other film teachers so far? Anybody that you really like? Sorry, it's kind of a weird system. We weren't anticipating 2 people.
Well, for like my script analysis, I have Christopher Jones.
Oh, okay. I had what script are you guys doing right now? Because I think it stays relatively the
We
same.
just finished Daphne's Dive.
We did not do that one, but I've heard of Victoria. Did you not like that one?
No, I've never read it.
No, they do. No one's every different one.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because
But,
they're graduate students that teach it.
That's right.
They
That's
usually try
right.
to tailor at least one of the plays they read to one of the performances being done
Right.
by the department this semester.
But we're not even doing Daphne's Dive.
Nathan and I were in the same script.
I'm sorry.
Yes, we were.
Remember when you said on the first day of classes, I don't give A's?
Oh,
I got an A.
Yes, so did I.
I also got an A in that class.
Have you had any teachers, what other classes other than film are you taking?
I'm taking like a media and information and society class,
Oh, I
and then biology. Yeah,
Ooh,
intermediate.
German. That's very nice. Any reason why German just didn't take a language?
I didn't want to take Spanish, but that's the only one in my high school.
That's
So
nice. Spanish. I got very tired of Spanish after a while. I was never good at it, and I just figured I actually still have to take it because I have credits, but I still have to take like 2 more classes of Spanish. But don't worry, it gets better after a while. Do you have any? Do you want to make a movie eventually?
yeah, I do definitely.
Do you have any ideas so far?
No, not like as of now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, don't. It took me as a word of warning. When then obviously since you were here last year, and I was a freshman, I pitched a movie idea through BG on screen, and it was called Saphira, but it was like a found footage movie, and that did not get off the ground, and it was mostly because I could not fix on one idea, and so if I have over time, I've kind of learned what to do with it when that happens. I don't think this is just a me problem, obviously, but if you ever think, oh, that idea is stupid, or I should change that, realize that you're still only a freshman and you have to make mistakes in order to make good stuff. Like the movie that I'm making, I plan on making next semester is literally going to be absolutely terrible. I mean, that's the idea. I want to make a purposely bad movie, but more or less, I'm just doing it to learn stuff.
Yeah.
So if I have any advice to you, it's don't be afraid to do stupid. in terms of film, don't be afraid to do stupid stuff because that's the only way you learn. So, thank you guys so much for showing up. I mean, I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
What
No problem.
aspect of film are you interested in, like the writing side, writing side?
Like, I'm interested because
Oh, we lost feed.
Oh, we did.
We lost feed.
Really?
Yeah. Camera just stopped. Because the battery died.
The battery died?
Yeah, this is why I have my backup battery. We're gonna take a quick pause.
We don't have a power cord.
Anyways, continue.
Okay, so I'm into film, like, because I want to be a director. And then I'm also, like, into, like, screenwriting, because I'm thinking about minoring in creative writing. So,
Yeah, so I'm
Declare that before your
Yes.
fourth semester.
Please.
yeah,
Declare that well before
we're
your fourth
all
semester.
film production majors and creative writing minors.
It's not a minor you can do in 4 semesters. Believe me, I'm doing it in 4. It's not working very well.
English classes are really heavy. You have to read like for every single class.
Well, now I don't want to be a screenwriter.
Screenwriting minor? It's creative writing.
If there
Creative
was a
writing.
screenwriting minor, I would like. No, if there was a screenwriting minor, I would hope there was a screenwriting major. That would be what I'm.
That would be really cool.
Fortunately, there's only one professor who
Yeah,
teaches.
go ahead. Sure. I mean, it really depends on what type of. Victoria, would you like to?
I have an answer to this question, actually. I know I don't need to come over here because the camera actually isn't working. However, I have 2 minors. I have business, entrepreneurship, and I have creative writing. There's no one up there. I'm just
You're messing with me.
When you hold the microphone, it gives you a certain.
air of authority.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I'm not very good at public speaking. So.
We didn't hire Sam for his public speaking skills.
Anyway, I have a business minor because I want to have a production company, and I also think that it markets me better as an employee, to just kind of like show that I know the inner workings of how a business works and how you like develop a product if you want to look at film
We're
that
back.
way rather than art. But I mean, a lot of people choose a lot of different things. Like obviously, there's creative writing. There's the business. You can do like marketing if you want to go into like advertising stuff.
There's some film production majors who like minor in media production.
Yeah, there's media production, and then there's also digital arts, which is in the arts building, which their program is really good. They actually like explore animation and stuff like that. So, I mean, you can talk to Alexa episode about that. She's a digital arts minor, I believe.
I want to specify the creative writing minor. It's not bad. It's just not a short one. You need time to do it.
That's a big fun with that.
Sorry about that. Are we back?
We are back. The camera's up and running.
Oh, okay, awesome. So I mean, yeah, if I
I didn't
if I had to say it, obviously they worded it a lot better than me. But I mean, you just got to take into consideration film production is a blanket term because there's some facets of production for a film. So I would more tailor your minor around the more specific area you want to go into. So like if it's digital arts, you can go into editing. You can go into graphic design for it, animation, stuff like that. More writing. You can do obviously creative writing, stuff
There is
like
a
that.
screenwriting class.
There is.
There
It's
is a screenwriting
fantastic.
class.
It's one of the
Great.
highest demand classes in the department.
Don't you? What prerequisites do you need for that?
Script analysis.
Wow, just that.
But you will only get into that class if you were a junior or senior, because that is the only point where you have enough scheduling seniority
To do
to
it.
get it.
It fills up pretty quickly.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd say that's our answer. And there's no matter what area you go into, you're gonna work. It's gonna work out fine. Trust me. So don't fret about it.
Yeah.
Are you afraid about film production and going into the field?
No, before I came here, I knew I wanted to do film,
Mhm.
so I'm just I was ready for it.
Awesome. I was a little afraid for a second. I was like, hopefully I'm not throwing away my life. But after going here for a while, I was realizing, I'm like, you know what, it's worth it. It's very worth it. Well, thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you for being our first guests. Yeah, can we get a round of applause? As much of a round of applause as we can get from these people.
Woo! Woo!
Get up. There you go. There you go. Ooh, now I have two microphones. Oh my goodness, is this Alex coming on?
Hello,
Oh my goodness.
I'm the guest now.
He is the guest now. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. You're more than welcome to. We're going to talk about nothing. So you guys can stay as long as you want, or you can leave
Well,
whenever
we
you like.
can make it film kind of oriented.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a bit. Or
Because-
I can plug my improv team.
Well, actually, before you do, we have some questions from the live viewing audience.
Sick. How many of them did you write yourself?
None of them.
How many people are there?
We have 3 responses.
Most of them aren't watching the stream, they're just recording the stream.
So this is on the Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Victoria, you're lame. Love Donovan. Is that your boyfriend?
No.
Her boyfriend's name is Patrick.
Oh, okay.
Do I have the right to respond to this?
It's a live channel.
It's
a live
towards
stream.
you, so yeah, go
And
ahead.
I hope you're watching this.
Don't swear.
Do not
I'm
swear.
I'm not gonna swear. However,
This is a PG
I am-
stream.
I am very offended. So you better text me and tell me that you're sorry.
Ooh, that's scathing. Donovan should be shaking in his boots right now.
It probably is.
What movie best represents BG? Ooh,
What movie best represents BG? That's hard because
definitely Napoleon Dynamite.
well, there's not a lot of movies that are about like college, I guess, because
Yo, Nathan is definitely Napoleon Dynamite. I apologize. I didn't mean to
there's
interrupt you out.
the thing about movies about college is there's not a lot of them because
It's true.
the idea behind like there being so many high school stuff is because high school is like a universal experience, at least in America.
Mhm.
Not everyone goes to college.
That's
So
very true.
it's for some reason people are like, oh, it's kind of harder to relate. College, there's not as wide of an audience, but like there's definitely college movies. I just can't think of any that like represent BG.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to, I don't know, because the question is kind of weird because it's either I could say something really ridiculous or I could say something
I will
serious.
say the movie Dune because there's a lot of orange.
That is very, very true.
A lot
Very
of
true.
orange and like grayish brownish.
Mhm. But I mean, yeah, I don't really have an answer to that question. So whoever asked that, I'm sorry.
That's a good question.
It is a good question, though. It is a very good question. What's the next response?
That was the only questions we had.
You just said you had 3.
I misread the other one. It was just a statement of the live stream is good.
Oh, okay.
Hey, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you very much for
I
tuning
don't
in,
actually know.
folks. But no, I'm glad that Alex came up because Alex is actually working on an independent study.
Yeah.
Which, do you know what an independent study is? Okay.
Okay, so basically, this is something that I am not required to, unless you're like in the honors college, you have to do like an honors project, which Victoria has to do. But this is a little bit different. I'm not in the honors college, but I'm choosing to do this project of my own volition. I'm getting credit hours for this. I'm basically just saying, hey, this is a short film that I am making. I want to do this and make it, and that's what I'm doing. And so I'm taking a pre-production class for it right now, and I'm shooting in November. It's a film that I wrote. It started out as my script in my screenwriting class, and it's kind of evolved. The initial draft was 26 pages, but I had to shorten it down to 20 pages because that was the page maximum for that class. And then once I got out of that class, I revised it and it became 26 pages again, which is the version that I'm the most happy with. So that film, the title is Proxemics. That is the name of the film. The title refers to the study of humans in relation to each other through space, i.e. intimacy. And I think given the nature of the film and like the topics that it's dealing with, I think it works. A little bit unorthodox for a title, but we're going with it.
It's definitely an attention grabber.
Yeah, for sure. But so it's coming together. I just held an audition for the supporting cast, and I feel really good about it. We're gonna do another call in like a week or so to get some extras on the film, and if you're interested in working on a big film production in this semester, this is something we would love your help on. We need a lot of extras as little people in the background at the house party. And maybe you'll be asked to do some help behind the scenes stuff. Like, yeah, it's just a great opportunity, something you can put on a resume. We need a lot. So please contact me if you're interested in being an extra. Please and thank you.
What's the process like? I mean, is it interesting because I know that it's a lot more official than the stuff that we would do for like
Yes.
BG on screen.
So all I did was basically say, hey, Professor Castillo, I want to do this. What do I need to do? And he said, okay, well, you should probably take the pre-production class and then let me know of like people who you're collaborating with, and then they can get credit hours for this.
Okay.
Yeah, like Nathan and Alexa, because Nathan's my first assistant director and Alexa's my cinematographer, and they're being very helpful in the collaborative process. But they're not able to do the pre-production class. And the pre-production class is basically like the way you get credit for doing pre-production for your independent study.
Right.
So that's so that is something I'm currently working on. But because I'm shooting in November, I had to do a lot of pre-production stuff beforehand. So a lot of it was kind of like off the cuff, planning out, doing some slight obviously revisions. I made like a little lookbook PowerPoint of like kind of what I want the color palette of the film, what I want the feel of the film to be, just general vibes and stuff, character descriptions and whatnot, what I was looking for. Over the summer, I reached out to 2 actors who I thought would be great for the leads, and they both accepted, and I'm very excited to have them. But now, once school is back up, I've been able to finalize my principal crew, and again, we just had auditions, and we're really starting to ramp up the social media presence of the film and getting that all together. And because we're shooting in a month, and we have our location secured and everything, that was a whole process. Yeah, the one thing I will say about independent studies is they are, they're just a lot of work, they're a lot of preparation. One thing I will say is if you don't have to do one. It's awesome if like it would be great to at least be involved in one as like a principal crew member. But you don't have to like be like the writer or the director of one. As long as you get involved with like projects like that, that's great because that's stuff you can put on a resume. But yeah, like I know because you have an honors project, so you're not doing like a big project that you're like directing, but you are helping. You're doing lighting for mine. So yeah.
Is it surreal to like finally have it start getting into motion and to actually start putting stuff together?
A little bit. I think more than anything, it's just been very cathartic. because this is a story I've been working on for. It's an idea for the story I had for like 2 years, and the script I've been working on for almost a whole year. And
So it's
I
a
haven't-
long process.
It's been a long process for me, especially. Like usually, like a lot of people, they take the pre-production class in the fall and then they shoot in the spring if they like their idea. Other things I will say for independent studies is work on something that you are passionate about. If you're writing something and if you kind of lose that passion for it, don't shelve it and maybe come back to it, but don't like put all of your energy towards something that you are not feeling. This story that I've written, my short film, is very personal to me, and I'm very proud of it myself, and I want to be able to tell that story, and that is why I'm making the film, because I want to, not because people said, hey, you should do this because it would look good on a resume. Hey, you should write and direct something before you graduate. This is something that I'm choosing to do of my own volition, and that is what is important. Do something that matters to you. The other thing I will say is do not try to do this on your own. Collaborators are very helpful. Getting a little team together that you can like talk with ideas and bounce around stuff is very, very helpful. Because I know you're interested in writing, directing, right? With the writing process, it is kind of like a lot of like yourself just doing it. I'm mostly finding the collaboration on the direction side of things, but also just sending out if you have like scripts and just send them to other people in BG on screen, like say, hey, I wrote this. You guys want to give me feedback on that? That's awesome. Stuff like that.
That is very important because I found that when writing something or when thinking about something, it's always, how am I alone going to do this? So it's very important to realize that you are not alone, especially in BG on screen. And overall, just the film department, we have lovely professors and we have lovely people who are always willing to help. And that's just a good thing goes for film in general.
Oh, absolutely. And connections are so important in this industry, and like making connections early on. And like I've seen it seems like there's a good group of freshmen this year, and they're all kind of pretty close. That's awesome. That's great to see. I didn't get super involved in film until my junior year, or my second semester of my second year here. Mostly because I was preoccupied with other things, but I'm just very happy I was able to kind of jump into this and like get these opportunities and getting to do, and this is the thing I want to do, and yeah, I'm very, very excited. We will probably do like a whole episode just on my thing.
For
So
sure.
I'm gonna leave details sparse for now, but
Yeah.
we're filming in November 11th, 12th, and 13th to be exact. That is Veterans Day weekend. That is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We need extras. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. You give a hand for Alex, everybody. Thank you so much.
I'm not gonna leave. I still want to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted to leave. Okay.
No.
What would you like?
I just want to talk about different things that isn't my movie.
Sure, absolutely. What would you like to talk about then, Alex? Dogs?
I don't have a dog, but Victoria's getting one.
You're getting a dog? Oh, did you
She's
ruin
in the
it?
process of looking to get a dog.
I've already put a
Yeah.
deposit on it.
Yes.
What type of dog is it?
I'm getting a Rottweiler.
Why?
Because I
I'm
love dogs.
joking.
Give her the chair. Give her the chair.
Give her the chair. Give her the chair.
Victoria's just come up so often.
Yeah, she just likes to barge in.
I don't need the chair. However, if you are not familiar with what a Rottweiler looks like,
Oh, they're adorable.
they
they're
are
very
adorable.
They are very.
The sweetest dogs.
They are. I know this is out of focus, but that's kind of what it looks like.
And that's a rough silhouette of what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yours just a cutout of one.
But the puppy Rottweilers are so cute. So cute.
I told Victoria that's literally just gonna be her personality next semester. Is the fact that,
Did you guys know I have a dog?
guys, did you know I have a dog?
What? Do you have a name?
Nova.
Oh, that's good.
That's cool.
So it's a he.
No, it's a she.
She Nova.
She.
Oh, I love that. Then that's even better. I think
wouldn't
Nova.
dare do it, no.
Fair.
That's not. Honestly, that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair. No, but are you more of a cat or a dog person?
I'm very much a cat person.
Yeah, I like cats. I think I prefer cats more, but I love dogs as well. Love dogs. I love them both very well, equally.
So I have a fun story to tell you. It
Absolutely.
involves my improv show that was last night. For context, I am the director of.
You've been planning this the entire time,
Yes,
haven't you?
I am the director of an improv team here on campus. Our name is Bad Genetics Improv. We do long form improv comedy, which is basically we perform long scenes without a script. Basically, we just kind of do it all off the top of our head based on audience suggestions.
Improv.
Yeah. So there's different types of improv. The plastic chatters do short form, which is like little games and stuff. We do long form. But so I'm the director this year, and our first show with the new team was last night. It went very well, and
Don't be sorry. Thank you for coming.
yeah, thank you
guys
for
have a
stopping
lovely
by.
night.
Absolutely,
Have a nice weekend too.
absolutely. So our first show of the semester was last night.
Mhm.
It was a great audience, very loud as well. Yeah, we Twitch live streamed it, so a couple of my friends watched it through that. I need to adjust the mic levels for the next one. That's all I'll say. Yikes. I had to when watching it back, I had to turn the volume on my computer
Oh yeah.
to 3 notches. It was really
Yes.
bad. Yeah. So but we did that. It was a lot of fun. I was really proud of everyone. And then we went to B Dubs afterwards to get dinner. And we're having a good time. We're chatting. We're waiting for the bill. And in the corner, we see a guy in a suit and a long ponytail. He's kind of short.
Mhm.
And one of the people's like, guys, I think that's Danny Trejo. And we're kind of looking. We're kind of looking over, and because we see him from the side,
Right.
and we can't tell because I can't see the mustache because that's the defining feature of Danny Trejo, whether
Yeah.
we like it or not. It's the stash, and I can't see the stash because there's somebody blocking the way. But then our server comes back. I'm about to ask him for the bill. He's like, "Yeah, that's actually him," and then he leaves, and we don't get our bill, so we're just kind of stuck there. So we contemplate about So what ends up happening is my assistant director Alyssa and then Andrew, aka the homecoming king of this year, he's on my team. They decide to come up and say hi to him. They just to introduce themselves. I was gonna go up there, but I was too scared. So they talked with them. They each got a picture with him, and
It was actually Danny Trejo.
no, it was really Danny Trejo, and so.
In BG.
And
Why was he
I will
Green?
get to that.
Why?
I will get to that in a second.
Uh-huh.
So, he was there, and they talked. Alyssa and Andrew talked to him for a bit. They gestured towards our table, and he waved at us. And
What a sweetheart.
oh yeah, no,
This is starstruck.
no, literally, no. My one friend was freaking out because she loves the Muppet movie, and he's in the Muppet movie. He's in one of the Muppet movies.
Literally the most obscure Danny Trejo appearance of all time.
And I know him as the uncle from. I know him most as the uncle from Spy Kids, and he's great.
Right.
Which is funny because I never watched Spy Kids as a kid, but only watched that as a college student, and it's wild watching and looking back,
Very weird movie.
seeing the thumb people in real time as a 19-year-old was very odd.
Bro, wait till the third one where Sylvester Stallone plays 4 people
Oh
at
my
the same
god,
time.
I watched that back to back with the first one. I have not seen the second one. I've only seen the first and the third. The third is an out of body experience. Let me tell you, it really is.
I'm sorry,
Wild
go on.
movie, 5 stars, but also no stars. Anyways,
He's the guy.
he's the guy.
He's the guy.
But so the thing about so he waved at us, so he saw us. He knows what we are. So we got a picture, and then we went back. We were like, let's leave him be. Let's even let him eat his food. But then other people started noticing that he's there. So then he went to the bathroom, and people saw him go to the
Oh
bathroom.
no.
And then there was a bunch of people outside of there, kind of waiting for him to come out. It looked like. And then when he got out, he was being stopped and asked to get pictures and stuff. And then he was going to he went back to his table, and there were people waiting there to get pictures.
Oh.
And we were kind of you know what, we got a couple pictures with some of our members with him. He gave us a genuine wave. Like he saw us. That is enough. And
Of
so we
course.
left. We decided to let him be. But like on all accounts, apparently like he's one of like the nicest people in Hollywood.
I have
really
heard
cool.
that.
You know,
Very.
I was watching the Disney Gallery Book of
Yeah, because he's in
episode
both.
last night,
He's in both.
and he was talking about it, he's like, I don't trust anyone who doesn't like dogs, and I'm like, you sir, I like you.
Yeah, well, because
And he's like,
Smart.
I treated the whole Rancor Keeper role as a dog trainer, and I'm like, you know what? Yes.
Yeah, because he's in Book of Boba Fett as the guy who gives Boba Fett the Rancor.
Well,
Because
he's an advocate for pit bulls.
he's also like really good friends with Robert Rodriguez, so that's why he was in it.
Mm.
Like they've done like so much stuff together. That's why he was in Spy Kids. Yeah. So but that was wild.
Why was he in BG?
So apparently, I think today he's giving a talk for some place. You could buy tickets for it or something. It's in a performance center near here. I don't know if it's in BG or if it's in like Perrysburg or something, but it's close by. So he's in town giving a speech either about like a book he wrote or something, or I think it's Latin Heritage Month or something. He might be doing something for that. I don't know. But he's in town for something.
Wow.
And he was at B-Dubs, and we saw him. And that is,
Of all places to meet Danny Trejo,
yeah.
B-Dubs is probably the best place.
But that sounds like you had a genuine moment there,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, maybe you didn't get a picture with him, but like, you have that story.
Yeah, we have that story, and
You got your moment in. It sounds like pretty respectfully.
Yeah.
Before everyone noticed, so he wasn't being overwhelmed with things when you guys were involved.
Yeah.
But it's your fault, and you should feel bad.
Well, no, and also we thought it was a good idea to like not crowd him immediately with like a group of 9 people. Like just setting 2 over there, I think was a good idea. Like again, I also the other thing is like, again, he's a Hollywood celebrity. He's not an A-list. He's not Jennifer Lawrence.
No.
But he's
But-
a name that everyone recognizes.
He's a name that people recognize. He's a name your dad will recognize probably
Mm-hmm.
more than anything. But like these kids, these people coming up were like high school kids. I'm like, do you even know who this guy is, dude?
Or do you just know that someone went up and
Call of Duty.
talked to him?
Because he was in a zombies map in Call of Duty Black Ops.
Oh, was he now?
So everybody's probably like, oh, that's the man from the zombies map.
What else has he been in?
He's the guy. Is he in Fortnite yet?
Guys, he's John Wick now. He's not Keanu Reeves. But like no, but he's been kicking around. He's been in the industry for a long time. I feel like at this point he's gotta be used to people popping up and taking pictures
Oh,
with him.
for sure.
Like the guy at the table, like next to us, asked him to like be in his Be Real, and he was like, "Yeah, sure." Somebody gotta be real with Danny Trejo
Indeed.
in the BGB
Wait,
dubs.
not me gonna open Be Real right now and check the
The Discovery.
the discovery
Well,
for
'cause
the local.
When it had made its way to BG Yek Yak by the time I had left B-Dubs, and I was debating about sending a Yik Yak message that says, "Hello, it is me, Danny Trejo," just to throw people off. And I did not do that because I fell asleep.
Oh my goodness.
But
That is a legendary story.
yeah. So
That is fantastic.
that is, well, because I've met, who is the most famous person? I have talked to John Barrowman. I have asked him a question at a convention. It wasn't a good question because I was like 13 and I didn't know what good questions were.
Who is John Barrowman?
He is Jack Harkness from Doctor Who
Malcolm Merlin on Arrow.
and Malcolm Merlin
Oh
and
my
Arrow.
god, you met him?
I met him at a convention. I didn't like shake his hand or anything, but I asked him a question at a convention. He was at Comic Expos in Cincinnati a few years ago.
Was he there? Was he there for himself, or was he there as part of a panel?
No, it was just him.
I once met LeBron.
I
I didn't.
Dude, no. I gotta figure. No, continue talking.
oh, speaking, I have a story that is LeBron adjacent.
The only famous person I've met was Dustin Lance Black when he came here.
Oh well, yeah.
back in the spring.
I've
to
I've
give his
seen,
screenwriting talk.
yeah. No, he's really
He was
chill.
cool. Like he's
Yeah.
the guy who wrote
Milk.
Milk, that FX show.
Under the Banner of
like,
Heaven with Andrew
Under the
Garfield.
Banner of Heaven.
A couple other things. Yeah, no, very chill guy.
He was cool.
he was very,
cool.
very
his
cool.
screenwriting like seminar thing was
Yeah,
really
no, it
good.
was awesome, and he gave the speech on storytelling was awesome as well.
Oh yeah.
Dustin Lance Black, cool dude.
Was
was I saying? So first about the blonde adjacent story. But first, I've also met Tim Rose, who was the original puppeteer for Admiral Akbar.
Wow.
I met him at Comic Expos. I shook his hand.
He was a puppet?
No,
Oh my god.
he was the guy. I think he was the guy in the suit.
Okay,
Hey, Alex, do you want to host for a little bit? Sam has a break.
Sure.
Hold
I
on.
will host.
All right, sure. Victoria, you want to go?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm really hungry.
All right.
I have to go
I,
eat.
we're gonna go figure out about getting food for people. So
Okay, so
I leave these in your guys'.
Okay.
I'm not really the host, so please don't hold me to
oh,
the same
I've been
standard.
informed to tell you that apparently my girlfriend has John Barrowman's autograph.
Oh
That's
wow.
really cool.
That's
actually.
neat. Stan Lee was at the same Comic Expos at that like the year after or something. Or it was the same year, but the line was super long, and this was like in 2015, 2016.
Well, you've been to more of these than I have.
I've only
never
been to two. And
that's-
this first one was the only time I like actually like saw people. So I got to shake hands with the guy, and he said it's a trap, so that was cool. He said it's a trap in the voice. Was fun. So that was neat. He had like no line, and I felt bad. So I think, but like that's
he had no line.
I don't know, cause
I
he's an
would've
older
loved-
guy.
Yeah, but I would have loved to meet him.
Oh, it was also kind of early, so
Oh.
I don't know. If the line wasn't super long, but like those, like that's probably the person I've been like in the physical contact I've shook his hand. So, but the LeBron adjacent story is summer of 2019. We went to California, my family and I, for vacation, and we toured the Warner Bros. Studio, and yeah,
Are
so
you
they have like a little studio tour, and like they had like some costumes and props from like the new Fantastic Beasts and like Aquaman and stuff. So we got to see that, which was cool. And we were going through the lot and we saw a bunch of extras in like these crazy costumes. And turns out they were filming scenes for Space Jam 2. And these were all of the extras. And we were in our little go-kart. And there was another go-kart that passed by. And I swear to God, LeBron James was in that golf cart, but it probably also wasn't him. It was most definitely another black guy with a beard. And I only saw him for like 2 seconds, so I was like, LeBron James. But so we did go to the Warner Bros. Lot when they were filming, or at least filming part of Space Jam 2 there.
Yeah, so related is what I'm looking at my phone for. I'm waiting for my mother to respond to me.
Hey, if you're Victoria's mother, if you're watching this, Victoria forged your signature.
Oh
And
wait,
and
hold up. Don't say that on stream.
she did not forge your signature, Victoria's mom.
Her name is Marianne.
Marianne Reed, your signature was not forged. This was a bit.
Anyway,
If you're watching this.
So the reason that I'm looking at my phone constantly is I'm waiting for her to respond to me because apparently this is a story that she often tells me. Usually when we're on a road trip and we stop at a Wendy's because my family really loves Wendy's. That's like
Did you meet Wendy? Is that the
no,
story?
no, that's not the story. It's
Okay.
actually related to LeBron James. So I don't remember if it was LeBron James specifically. However, it was a basketball player. He was a basketball player. I won't refer to him as it. But I was very young. Like we were, I don't remember where we were going, but I was like toddler age, maybe even younger than that. And we were in a Wendy's, and a basketball team like walked in to like have food because they were like traveling for like a game. And I can't remember if it was LeBron James or not, but it was a famous basketball player, and I like little old I don't know
Was it
younger than 3 me.
Michael Jordan?
I don't remember.
Was it Kobe Bryant?
I don't know.
Rest in peace.
I don't know.
Was it
I don't-
Stephen Curry?
I definitely not.
Okay. Was it LeBron James?
I don't remember. I have a feeling it was LeBron James because that was what sparked this memory. But
Hang on a
did the
second.
camera just stop?
Let's find out. Hold on.
Can the stream still hear us if the camera stops?
Yeah, because the stream,
Okay,
the
well,
microphone is not connected
Okay,
to
so
the camera.
if you're listening verbally, or not verbally, that's not how you listen. Anyway, if you're listening to the audio, you can continue listening to my story. So, little old 3-year-old.
Yeah, we still have video.
Less than 3 me Yes, Zoe?
You guys wanna come up here real quick?
Oh,
Okay.
Um,
I will hold down the fort if you want to go up.
okay. I have to finish the story first.
Cause like I can get myself pretty
Here.
both of you can go up there while I just
Victoria, you finish your story.
Okay, I'm finishing my story. So in the Wendy's, right? Little like 3-year-old or less me, which I can't remember if I was 3 or not, or who it was. I think it was LeBron James, but anyway, little like old me wandered over to this table of basketball players, and if it was LeBron James, I'll just say it was LeBron James because I can't remember exactly. But I went over there and I like started like I don't know doing like little toddler things just at their table. And every time that we go to a Wendy's, my mother tells me this story every single time, without fail. Jimmy John's is upstairs, and I would really love to get Jimmy John's because I haven't had any breakfast today. So Alex is going to talk to you about something. I don't know what.
I will actually take that microphone because
Yeah, you can take this one. It's better.
How you guys doing tonight? So I'm just gonna hold down the fort real quick. Before because some of our crew members are getting food right now. There's Jimmy John's upstairs. I'm not hungry right now because I kind of ate a little bit before I got here, and I'm not feeling super hungry right now. But I will probably get something later. Okay, so I don't really know what to do. What other fun stories? Have I met any other famous people? I don't think so. Unless you count like people like in character suits at Disney World. So I can say that I've met Mickey Mouse. I've met Winnie the Pooh. But those are just guys in suits. Those aren't the real Winnie the Pooh. Actually, you know what? They are the real Winnie the Pooh. I've decided. Let's go through my camera roll, and I will try to see if there's anything I can discover anything from the deep.
Spider coat.
Who? No, none for me.
None for you. You want a sandwich?
No, thank you. I last weekend I went down to Columbus, Ohio, to surprise my sister because she's also in an improv team. She's with Fishbowl Improv at the Ohio State University, and I went down and surprised her. That was fun. The drive, on the other hand, is not very fun because it's like 2 hours.
You need to eat, Alex.
I will get stuff later. Hold on.
They're free. They gave us free food.
What chips do they have?
They just left.
I'll take the Fritos.
You want a sandwich?
No, thank you.
I'm eating your sandwich.
That's fine. I'll take the Fritos. The drive from Bowling Green to Columbus is not very fun because you get.
It's boring.
It's so boring. It's more boring than when you just go down 75 to get to Cincinnati. And that one's longer because at least you go through like a city. The one to get to Columbus, the one to get to OSU, you have to take like a back street to like go down, and you're like passing all these big houses, but it's like you're stuck at 45 for like 30 minutes, and it's not fun. And it's just this 2 hour. And then when I left Columbus, it was 10:30 at night, so I didn't get back to Bowling Green Monday morning, 12:30, and then I had class at noon. That was not fun. I had to wake up. Anyways,
They found the Danny Trejo event. The BGM screen server has come through. They
what?
found the Danny Trejo event. It's an hour walk from here,
Oh,
and all the seats are filled.
yeah. And I also think you have to pay money to go.
It's a 6-minute drive.
Oh, that's kind of close.
Wait a minute. An hour walk and it's a 6-minute drive?
That doesn't add up, I feel.
No.
Danny Trejo is set to visit Bowling Green in October. He's going to be at
Is he gonna be at the? I think I heard something about maybe the high school.
Wood County District Public Library.
Oh, that's right. It was the library.
No, sorry, Bowling Green City Schools Performing Arts Center.
Yeah, because he's doing something with the library, is what it is.
Mhm.
Because I think he's also written things. He's also written books. I'm assuming they're like nonfiction, but I don't know.
Trejo will talk about his books, his career as both an actor and a restaurateur, and his life story of his journey from ex-con to actor to Narcotics Anonymous, Alcohol Anonymous, counselor to successful restaurateur. Presentation will be followed by a Q&A.
Yeah.
And a book signing.
Yeah. So yeah, no, he's a chill guy. Yeah. So if you want to go to that, you can't because the seats are full. But yeah, so that's neat. I have made eye contact with Danny Trejo, so and that's you know what that's more than most people can say, I guess. Like there will be so many people will go their whole lives without seeing somebody famous. So you know what, you gotta treasure those moments while you can. Also, if you're out and about and you like see a celebrity, you could always just choose to not bother them. That's always valid. You don't have to get a picture with them. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, yeah.
That's gonna be
So,
my family before he dies.
I was telling Victoria this. When I went to the convention where John Barrowman was, Stan Lee was also there, but the line was super long, and I did not see him. Let's talk about. Let's talk about.
Show up with food.
I texted you.
Oh, well,
Let's talk about some movies because this is a film thing. What's a movie that people have really enjoyed that they've seen recently?
oh, shut up.
That's a good movie, but I feel like it's talked a lot. Like people, we know it's good.
No. No, the movie.
Oh, Nope, the movie is very good. Have you guys seen Nope?
I've not seen Nope yet.
Nope is very good.
The last movie I watched that I enjoyed,
Oh, Nathan, look.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Chocolate milk.
You know what? That movie really does hold up. It turns 20 years old next year, and it still looks
Pirates of the
fantastic.
Caribbean?
Pirates of the Caribbean. It still, like, the visual effects, it still holds up. Like, a production design, from that standpoint, it looks fucking awesome. Like,
Oh,
No swearing. That's the wrong one.
wrong button.
whoopsies! Haha! It looks awesome.
Now I have to censor that. Now I have to edit this.
Ha ha.
Hey, I'm surprised that we got this far with that scene.
Honestly, me too. You know what? Hey, we could always just no kids have come to this. We could always just like change the setting at the end. That's probably easier than just editing it. Anyways, I'm not gonna swear anymore. But Pirates of the Caribbean, there's just something about it that just feels, I don't know, like there's magic to it that I feel like is missing from a lot of modern blockbuster films. Like there's truly like a vision with that movie. It feels like a lot of like action movies are kind of like pre-visualized to death and like what is the most optimal way we can like present this and like a way to appeal to the most people. But like this is just so unabashedly balls to the wall crazy, especially the later movies.
Honestly, even 4 and 5, which aren't narratively as good as the first 3,
Yeah.
still have the same charm.
Yeah, like in terms of like looking pretty good and like good special effects and stuff. I don't know, man. There's just
The
something.
narrative's not terrible in
Yeah.
4 and 5 either. It's just
I haven't seen
not
5,
quite-
but 4 is definitely
5 feels more like the sequel 4 should have been.
okay. Interesting.
Because 5 actually goes in a.
Because
Because 5 brings in new characters.
5 connects to 3 in a roundabout way.
But 5 is the wrap up and honestly continuation of 3.
Yeah.
4 is a weird tangent between them.
Yeah. Which is interesting. Yeah, so Pirates definitely holds up. It's one of the few movies that like I rewatched it with my sister. She saw it for the first time, and then I rewatched it again because my roommates were watching it. My one roommate had never seen it, and so they didn't know this. They didn't know that the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney or Disneyland was what inspired the movie. They thought it was the other way around.
Oh, I can talk about this. Hold on.
Yeah, so
Did
like
you swear, Victoria?
No.
no, she said
I
yes.
said yes.
Yeah, so the movie came, the show came, the ride came like way before.
Yeah, so if I'm remembering correctly, there was one at Disneyland, and then they made another one at Disney World.
Yeah, they're slightly different.
They are slightly different.
Some of the same scenes play out, but they're slightly different.
Um,
I think the Disneyland version is better.
I have not been to Disneyland, unfortunately. I want to go, and I also want to go to the one that's in France.
Paris, Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, Johnny Depp was in the ride for a while.
Yeah, no, they put him in
No, I mean like the guy. Like he.
Oh yeah, I
He
saw that there
stood
was like
in
a
the ride
publicity
for a
stunt
while.
where that they did where like instead of having the animatronic Jack Sparrow in, they would have actual actor Johnny Depp
Yeah.
in like the chair at the end or something.
Disney's like
Really
It's-
powerful.
it is. I mean, they're like a monopoly, but like. I
Have you
mean,
guys seen that video where he visits people, kids in the hospital dressed as Jack Sparrow?
yeah.
That was really creepy.
Have you seen the video? Well, I'm not getting into this.
They put cucumber on this sandwich.
Nice. That's why I didn't eat it.
What kind of sandwich is it?
Sandwich from Jimmy John's. This is what it is.
No,
It's
I
got
meant,
other
like,
great stuff.
Can I tell my Jimmy John's story from
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we did a film shoot me and Victoria were on a film shoot for an independent
it was
study.
Christie's film.
Christie's film, Christy Schwartz, if you know who that is. She's since graduated, but we were on a lunch break for that film, and Victoria and I went to Jimmy John's because Victoria wanted to get Jimmy John's and I would tag along. And so we went to Jimmy John's, and I specifically requested to have a sandwich that just had like the ham and like the cheese and mustard, and that was it. And like I said, this is the sandwich that I want, but just these things. And so then they gave me the regular sandwich. So it had mayonnaise, it had tomatoes, it had lettuce, and I don't like any of that, unfortunately. So what I did was I had to like perform a surgery on my sandwich when I got back to the place, to the library filming, and I basically, because like the bread was like wet from the mayonnaise, and it tasted weird, I had to like take out all of the breading. So it was just like the hard exterior of the bread and then the meat and the cheese. And I'm never ordering from that. Yeah, no, I'm never ordering from that Jimmy John's again.
I personally like the Jimmy John's.
Yeah, I'm just not.
Alex just had one bad experience.
I told to clarify some things.
What?
Pirates was an opening day attraction at the original Disneyland.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
in
Johnny
1955.
Depp is also permitted to, anytime he wants, show up and replace the animatronic.
That's really funny.
Wow. Wait, is that not that I'm against Johnny Depp in the whole case, but does that still stand
Yeah,
because of the whole like
well, because
case between him and Amber?
He's been rehired for 6.
Well, that's
no,
good.
what?
He's back on for 6.
Yeah.
I thought they were rebooting it, not
They-
doing 6.
Well, they definitely.
He's back on for whatever the new project is, though.
Okay, well,
But
Isn't his dad played by, like, Paul McCartney or something?
what?
in Pirates of the Caribbean,
Why would his dad be
I have-
played by-
Isn't Jack Sparrow's dad played by, like, one of the Beatles?
What?
I have no idea. I don't know that much.
Look
about
this up, Nathan. I don't believe
It's
you.
in 3.
I don't think
That's
I've actually
insane.
seen all of the movies all the way through.
I've never seen any.
I've seen parts of them because my parents really love the movies, but I don't think I've actually sat down and watched all
Sam,
of it.
you can watch the first one and then stop there.
Is the other one's not worth it?
2
2
and
and 3 are
3,
great. 2 and 3 are the same, are just one large movie.
2 and 3 were filmed back to back, and they're basically like one large story, and it's fun to see it. It gets really weird in 3, and I don't love some of those things, but like it's the same director as the first one, so there's still that charm to it. 4 is whatever, and I have not seen 5, but like 1.
Sorry,
Is-
no. Keith Richards
Wow.
plays Captain Teague Sparrow.
So that is 100% not one of the Beatles.
That is correct. I was mistaken.
Sick. Okay. But the first one is just like still like a triumphant like Hollywood blockbuster filmmaking. I think it's fantastic.
No, like the entire world building and just the set in general.
Oh,
It's
the
just
production
absolutely-
design is awesome,
It's amazing.
and like the visual effects, like they definitely look like there have been effects that have been better since that movie, but it still looks really respectable.
When did the first one come out?
2003. It turns 20 years old next year, which is insane to me.
5 came out in 17.
That's correct.
Yes, 4 was 2011.
Yes, and then 2 and 3 were 06 and 07.
I think I was too young to care about these movies.
Fair, yeah. No, I didn't watch them until I was later. Those were like, I think that was like one of the first PG-13 movies I ever watched because my cousins had it on DVD, and I was like, I need to watch this because it's good.
I saw Curse of the Black Pearl for the first time live with the Cleveland Orchestra
Oh, that's cool.
playing the score at Blossom Music Center
That's cool.
in like right right after 4 came out. So it was like 2011, 2012.
That's Johnny Depp in all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because the music for that is fantastic.
It is really good.
So
He's the narrator
I believe
character, but he's
Hans
not the
Zimmer.
main character.
Yeah,
of the story.
he's a
Right.
genius.
Hans Zimmer is.
He's right up there with John Williams and what are the other guys?
I think it is John Williams and Hans Zimmer.
Is it just the two? I thought there was a third.
Well, there's others. There's
Look it up.
like there's some that are like really good that are like more modern, but like those are like the two that I think of. Alan Silvestri, maybe he's done
Maybe.
a bunch of classic stuff.
Maybe.
He did Back to the Future.
Oh, I love that.
Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer did Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We were looking for a third
Like,
composer that
is
was
there like a trifecta of like
prevalent, like
Danny
John
Elfman?
Williams.
Danny Elfman.
Oh, that one.
Danny Elfman has done all like the Tim Burton stuff. He did the Raimi Spider-Mans.
Oh my god.
He's been in the industry for so long.
Who's the guy who did Lord of the Rings?
James. Ooh, no, it's not James Horner. It's something.
I actually haven't seen those movies.
James Horner did like all the James Cameron movies, but he is not alive anymore.
I'm gonna have. I'm gonna be devastated when John Williams passes away.
Oh my God, Harvey Weinstein was attached to Lord of the Rings.
Yes, he was.
Hmm.
Yeah, there was like 5 different production
Howard
companies.
Shore.
Yes.
Howard Shore's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but he hasn't done like a ton like since those movies though.
There's something I was gonna talk about. No, I don't remember.
What are some of your favorite film scores? Just in
Film
general.
score. Oh, I was gonna talk about it. You reminded me. I have always wanted to go to a showing of the first Harry Potter where they have the orchestra alongside it. I have always wanted to go to one of
I
those.
think they did that in Cincinnati one time. I was
They-
not able to go.
They've done it countless times. I mean, over in Britain, obviously, but I have wanted to go to that for the longest time.
Cleveland Orchestra did Fellowship of the Ring
I
this
know-
summer, and I only found out about this because Michael Miller, Jack Brodkey, all of that previous generation of film students went to it, and no one told me. I found out about it afterwards on Letterboxd, and I was like, "What? Why didn't anyone tell me this was the thing? I would have gone."
It's a secret that we want to share with them.
Sam, good job, Dad.
You guys can go on.
Yeah, I'm the host now.
You
But
want to get off?
but speaking of film scores, like I went to one of those where like they played the movie over the live music. I did that with Fantasia. They did Fantasia. They did stuff from Fantasia and then like most of Fantasia 2000.
Okay, so
That was cool.
the thing about Fantasia is that we had the VHS and we also had the DVD.
We had the DVD. And I have the DVD for the first one, and then I have the VHS for Fantasia 2000.
Okay, I've never seen that one. But anyway, my point is my parents loved that, and as a kid, I don't think I appreciated it at all.
No.
I didn't understand what was going
Yeah,
on.
you don't appreciate Fantasia until you like it.
No.
That's just how it is.
I mean, it's really good. It's just the
Did anyone
scores.
realize that some of the numbers are racist? Or the animated sequences for
Oh
some of them.
yeah.
Oh,
because it was
very racist.
1940s, dude. That's just how it was. Times, man.
I know.
Like, obviously, that's bad.
Don't get us wrong. We're
So,
not saying
so
it's
I have
okay.
a
We do not
professor.
condone any of those.
There's a
things.
professor in the pop culture department who is teaching
I would hope.
television is pop culture,
Yeah.
and has several times when like showing us something that has a disclaimer. This contains racist material. These do not reflect the current views of the studio.
Yeah,
Has said, "Oh, this doesn't need a disclaimer. It's fine."
that's actually kind of cracked.
And we're trying to figure out whether he's like
Cracked means good.
expecting that we are familiar with the material and know that it's racist,
Yeah,
or he just doesn't think it's racist.
I definitely think it's probably the former.
I would hope it's the former.
We all hope it's the former, but also
You don't know.
he said some really sketchy things.
Okay, let's not get
That's
into
true, yeah.
We
professor
don't need
drama
to do
on
that.
this school-sponsored event. Yes. What is it? Film scores? Yeah. You know what? My favorite.
Oh my
Woo!
god, Elliot is
Elliot's
Oh
here.
my god, it's Elliot.
Oh, can I
Elliot.
interview Elliot? I want to
Are
interview
we
Elliot.
bench pressing
Elliot.
Elliot on camera? Can
Oh,
we bench
can
press
I-
Elliot
can I
live?
bench press Elliot live?
If you want to watch Elliot being
Elliot, are
best,
you-
can
did you
look
sign
at
the form?
previous episodes.
Yeah, you
Go
can
sign
watch
it. Go
episode
sign
3
it.
of season 2 of On the Couch to watch Elliot be
Here's,
bed pressed.
here's
Season 2,
Oh
episode
no.
3.
Oh, where's Elliot going?
He's got to sign a release form if he wants to show
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna interview Elliot actually.
Alright, you exist.
So speaking of film scores, one of my favorite things is like when like actual like legitimate like real music artists like who did like bands and shit like they do a one off and they do like film scores. I think it's so cool.
This smells like Fritos.
You know, honestly, like
It's
I'm not a huge fan of the 007 franchise, but the fact that they've always managed to get full pop artists in to do their opening
Oh,
numbers is fantastic.
Oh,
Like that's
great.
I
That's
applaud
awesome.
them for that because they're not just pulling like from a classic period. They're pulling whoever's popular at the time of production.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because like the most recent one had Billie Eilish, but like the one before had Sam Smith. It had Adele.
Guys, listen to this.
Yeah, that's the bad microphone.
No,
I mean, the Guns N' Roses did one.
yeah.
Didn't the Beatles? No, the Beatles did one. Guns N' Roses.
Live and Let Die is the
Live and
Beatles.
Let Die
At
is
least
the
Paul
Beatles.
McCartney.
Yeah, that was the Eagles.
Yeah. Well, it was Paul McCartney. Madonna did Diamonds Are Forever. I think Whitney Houston did one, maybe. I don't know.
Here comes the man, the myth, the actual legend, Elliot.
The man, the myth, the legend.
All right.
When he's done interviewing, I'm gonna bench press you. All right?
What?
I'm gonna bench press you once he's done.
For context,
Alright.
there's an episode of On the Couch where Elliot gets bench pressed by Slido. Hi, Elliot.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you today? How's it going?
I'm good.
Good. Nice of you to show up to this lively crowd we have here. So I hope you don't mind that I'm taking hosting duties from Sam for a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought I'd just try this out. I guess I don't know. Just see what works. So how has this semester been going for you so far?
Well, pretty busy to be honest. So
Yeah?
band stuff going on. At a concert last night.
Okay. Is this like concert band or like marching band?
Both.
Okay, so you're involved.
Concert band,
Well, so you
concert
had the show last night.
Huh?
You were at the show last night then.
Yeah, I was in the first band.
What are you playing?
Huh?
What do you play?
Yeah, what do you play?
Bass clarinet for university band, and then marching band is tenor sax.
It's okay. Is like a music, like that whole thing, is that part of like, are you minoring it or something, or is that?
No, it's just something I was doing for fun. I might minor in it. I don't know. I don't have a minor.
You haven't decided on it. Well, that's something to probably look into.
Yep.
Because this is your second year, right?
Yeah.
I definitely get on a minor, if not by the end of this semester, the end of next semester. Because if you don't declare a minor by like your junior year, it's gonna be rough.
There's some minors that are really hard to pull off in 4 semesters.
Yeah, creative writing.
Creative writing. If you're gonna do creative writing, declare it now. Give yourself 5 semesters to work on.
But you're film production major, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I hope the performance went well.
Yeah.
That's good. It's awesome.
I watched it on a live stream last night. It was good.
Oh, nice.
Are they live streaming too?
Yeah.
CMA live. I couldn't walk yesterday.
Oh yeah, you told me this. Nathan could not walk yesterday because he has bad knees. So I have a question. What is there like a specific aspect of filmmaking that you're particularly interested in? Because you've done a lot. You've acted in some of the 48s. You've done behind the scenes photography for On the Couch last season. You were one of the principal camera people for this. You've done sound stuff. You've helped with lighting for one of David's films. So you've kind of done it all. Is there anything that's like sticking out to you, or
I'm
something that
kind
you?
of trying to like do everything just so I can see what I like the most. Kind of.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like I've been doing editing for a while. Writing is always something I've liked doing. Maybe not directing. I don't know. That seems a little bit. I don't know if I that kind of like. I don't know.
Yeah, no, directing, I definitely, for a bit, I was kind of questioning whether I wanted to do something like that. A lot of it had to do with the fact that I wasn't, like, as super self-confident as I am myself now. So, like, now, I'm like, I'm the director of my improv team, I can do anything. So, that's why I'm directing my own film, because I feel like I have the confidence to do it. But it's definitely a lot of work, and it's definitely not something that, like, everyone's drawn to, and that's completely fine. And it's great to like, because I feel like when you go to like film, there's like kind of like film school, there's like a lot of emphasis on like being an auteur and like being like a writer director, but like we need the sound people, we need the camera crew, there's a lot of stuff, and it's great to like dip your toes in so you can be familiar with all those different aspects.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of what I'm doing.
Yeah. Is there anything that is like sticking out to you at the moment, or something that you're
Probably editing and writing.
editing and writing? Nice, that's awesome. Are you in the editing class at the moment, or?
No, I couldn't fit it into my schedule.
Gotcha. Are you in cinematography this year though? Or?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Just in the elephant cinema class.
Nice. Oh, the culture people movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good.
56, 50.
Yeah, that one. That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Who's teaching it this year though? Is it?
I've got Pennsylvania.
Okay, yeah. I am.
I'm pretty sure Dr. Darren always teaches it.
Okay, I didn't know if she always teaches it or not. But that's awesome. That's cool. Is there any thing that you're do you have any like upcoming things that you're excited for film wise that you, or is there any like projects that you're working on, like personal stuff, or are you planning on pitching something to BG on screen this year? Or?
I don't know about this year, but yeah, there's something I'm working on. I don't want to say too much because it's still like really early in
Absolutely.
development. And there's always the chance that I might pull the plug on the entire project because it's not. It's a very different kind of style of filmmaking that I'm going for. I don't think it's been done like at BG before.
Okay, interesting.
So
Could
I
you?
don't wanna, it's very like experimental
Okay.
and ambitious. So
Sure.
and it might not work out at all, but I'm kind of writing like a prequel / pilot episode for it.
Okay.
So it's like we can do that, and then if I decide to pull the plug, it's not like cutting off a series.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, and always you can like just put stuff on the back burner and like, come back to it like
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
So.
And that's the other thing. I just don't have the time or the resources to do it right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm doing my independent study this semester. We need extras for this, by the way. If you talk to me, and let me know if you're interested in being an extra for my short film Proxemics. We are filming November 11th, 12th, and 13th. So please let me know if you want to be an extra in the film because we need like a lot of extras. Thank you. So I'm doing that, and like there's certain aspects of it that are like pretty ambitious. There's stuff that I haven't really seen other.
That's the shill alarm.
So that needs to be present anytime David's in a room.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
We're
So
watching this, David. We're sorry.
so we're this is something I've been working on. And again, there's like a lot of elements to it that are like kind of ambitious stuff that I haven't seen done before in like BG independent studies. I'm not gonna get into too specifics, but like you know what I'm talking about. Nathan knows what's up. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a big secret.
it's a big no. It's not that big of a secret.
No, it's not. Sam!
What did, Sam, what did you say?
It's
I
inappropriate.
can't say
It's
it.
inappropriate
Yeah.
for our PG on the couch episode.
Sam said something really inappropriate. I'm not
Yeah,
going to show
that's
that.
not very cool.
It's not very.
Cool of it.
Not very Pog Champ of you to say.
It's not very, very good.
Not very Fortnite subject.
That
Stop.
was even
Never ever
worse.
say that again.
Please
Wait,
stop
Sam,
it now.
did you-
But so
There's two.
We're gonna rotate Sam back in.
okay, yeah. So before I leave, I just want to say that that's awesome that you're working on something. Just let me know or let anyone else know if you want people to like look over the script, and we will absolutely give you notes and stuff, and we'll give you positive and maybe critical feedback.
Yeah,
We love doing that.
Or you can pitch it as a
you
workshop
can-
to BG on screen.
Yeah, you can pitch it
And,
as
like,
he
a
knows
workshop
this.
to be.
He's plugging the plug.
Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
we need to send the show alarm for me?
I mean, it's
dropping your-
it's our own thing, so
Yeah, we're shilling for Vito. Okay.
yeah. All right.
All right, I'm gonna go have my Fritos
Give a
now.
hand for Alex, everybody.
I'm
Doing
gonna
a
have my
great job.
Fritos. I may be back. I have more things to say sometime. Okay, bye.
Sorry to talk to you.
Oh my goodness, is that?
Is this Elliot I see?
I think it is.
Oh
I'm not
my
really sure it
goodness.
is.
You don't know yourself?
No,
Why not?
because
So, I,
What just happened?
Oh no.
Elliot, could you have the mic closer to your mouth?
like this.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta be like close.
while I was gone, I went and I got chicken dippity. I'm not.
It's not
chicken
chicken
dippity's
dippity.
gone.
What is it now?
Not chicken dippity.
Here, I'll
Is it Raising Canes?
No.
Oh,
I
I
wish.
wish.
No,
You don't understand how much I wish I could get
The one
canes
in
on campus.
Perrysburg is opening November 1st.
November
No,
1st?
camera, what did you do? What did you do?
Camera go off?
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. It's
Fuck yeah.
Camera's gone? Did we lose camera?
No, the camera's right there.
No, we
Oh,
lost.
it got up
Wait,
and
it's gone. We're good.
Okay, good.
It made a noise, so
I don't know what that noise means. Does it not
it's
display?
absurd bird now.
Absurd bird.
Yeah, but no, if it was canes, I would be eating there daily.
I'm not gonna lie, I just had what they had. It's pretty similar to Raising Canes.
It actually is. Like absurd bird is just canes with slightly less quality breading, no
No cane sauce?
no Texas toast, and no sauce.
The sauce I just had though was relatively similar, but it still was not as
No,
good.
no, no, the sauce.
I know how to
is
make the
okay.
cane sauce.
But,
yeah, I know. There's hundreds of
but Elliot,
copycat recipes.
I'm just so glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be.
I'm really glad that you're glad to be here.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that I had to go and I had to eat because I had not eaten the entire day, and I did not want my stomach rumbling to catch on.
Yeah, you didn't want to.
Exactly. I didn't want to embarrass myself or my family in that
Yeah.
way. So can I like bench press you now?
Yeah, sure, if you want.
Nathan, can you?
I'll spot.
You won't spot. You'll hold the. You'll hold.
You
Give
guys
you-
can't currently see the floor.
That might not be.
Alex, you want to adjust us so they can see the floor?
It's come for Extreme Sports BG on Screen Edition.
It's a fair game, you know. It's gonna be.
If things get out of hand, this buzzer will be hit.
It's not gonna happen.
You cannot hear that buzzer, can you?
No.
Well, let's try this again.
All right, so I'm going to lay down here.
You probably heard it that time. I don't know.
Sam, could you scoot towards this way a little bit?
Yeah, I got you.
The camera
Yeah, there we go.
operator, Alex, who has been on stage several times today, is now directing the camera
So
as described in the camera operator job description.
Stand like right here.
Okay, David Attenborough.
Put your legs like
This is the second time Elliot will have been bench pressed on camera for On the Couch. The first time is in season 2, episode 3, Chill Wars 3. Three.
I'm scared.
So am I. Please stop this. That was 3 complete bench presses, folks. All right, that was Elliot.
reps in, folks.
Woo! Can we bring the camera
There
back
you
up
go,
to
there you go.
the previous position? Sit
We have to
yourselves
do that.
down,
We do
gentlemen.
that every single time that Elliot shows up on camera because like, why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Sam needs to get in shape if he's going to keep doing that.
Wow.
Do I get a popsicle stick? Does that make you laugh?
No, that actually really hurts. Thanks a lot. I'm not even being. It's not even a
I mean,
joke.
to
at
be
this
fair, I
point.
also need to get in shape, so.
Wow. So you're doubling down. All right. Awesome. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Have you seen Elliot? He's a twig.
Give him the microphone, okay?
Hi, Elliot. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm glad it's good to be appreciated.
What are the questions that you have for me? As so many people are answering on the thing.
Oh, Sam, I have a question. Is there? I asked this to Elliot. What? Is there like a particular avenue in filmmaking that you're particularly interested, or are you just kind of trying everything?
No, I'm the basic director, writer stuff.
Boo! You want to be an auteur.
I know it's pathetic.
If you didn't hear that, he asked.
All right, we have a question from Christina. Hi, Sam.
Christina.
It's your bestie, Christina. What is your favorite thing about being the host?
That's a good question, Christina. It's a hard one too,
Yeah.
because personally, I don't think I'm a good host, but
I think you're a great host, Sam.
Elliot, that is so kind of you. You're probably the only person who said that the entire time I've been doing this. But if I had to say so, it was probably probably just getting to go in every Friday and be with my friends and actually make something. And, you know, make that creative effort to actually put stuff out.
Yeah.
And, you know, just the community and everything, and being able to make stupid, funny ha-has every Friday. It's always nice, and I always get to learn more about people, and the bits are really funny too.
Yeah, it's
So-
nice to be behind the camera and get to watch that live.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, obviously, not everything makes it into every episode, so it's like.
Right. Yeah. For
You mean
For-
not?
for
Wait, you
better.
mean that's not the whole thing?
No, that's the power of editing.
Exactly. What's the next one, Nathan?
All right, from Wesley.
Ooh, Wesley.
Hi, Wesley.
Oh God.
Sam, what is your opinion on the disappearance of the cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell? I feel like we're going back to the Cheeto burger here.
I
Yeah, I was gonna
personally,
This reminds me of the Cheeto burger, Wesley, if you're listening to this right now.
I'm personally highly disappointed in Taco Bell, but I will not lie to you people. I've never had a cheesy gordita crunch, but I have heard the tales, and I have heard how terribly fantastic they are, because that's basically all of Taco Bell's menu. It's terribly fantastic, and I understand people are very upset, and I can understand why. So that's my opinion.
I've never liked it.
Yeah.
That kind of comment.
It's
We have
probably
another
really bad.
question in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Elliot about film work for Falcon Marching Band.
Oh, I think I know who that's by.
Mm-hmm. So Elliot, what's film work like in marching band?
Well, a couple weeks ago, we took my camera and tripod up to the roof of the press box in the Deutsch Stadium and filmed the halftime show for the band.
Ooh.
And then
Fun fact, that was supposed to be me up there.
Nathan
But
was
I'm not
supposed to be
employed
up
by
there.
the university, so I couldn't go up there.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I edited it and run on the YouTube channel.
Next question.
That's it. That is all of the questions we have right now.
That's it. Okay. What was your idea, Nathan? What was your idea?
I'm gonna need to be on the chair for this part.
Oh,
Elliot,
guess I gotta
you've
go.
been an absolute pleasure. You always are.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for letting me bench press you.
Virtual
Yeah,
hugs for Elliot.
Exactly. Ritual hugs for Elliot. I'm so sorry that
I
I
need some.
completely invaded your private space. But you know what? It's whatever.
Just commit to the bit. You know?
Exactly.
Commit to the bit.
It was consensual. All right. Get off my
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
Great to have you, Elliot.
That was Elliot, folks. Elliot's always a pleasure to have around.
Always is. Always is.
He shows up. He does his job. He's camera one for the upcoming first episode of season 3 of On the Couch at BG on Screen.
That's true. That's very true.
That should be
He
up
was
in
there.
2 weeks, assuming I have time to edit it. I do have time. I'm going to start it tonight
Mm-hmm.
or tomorrow, depending on things.
Right. What's your lovely idea, Nathan?
So, Sam, recently I reached out to you
Mhm.
to talk about co-writing a short film.
Mm-hmm.
This film will be pitched to BG on Screen early in the spring for production in late spring semester.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to describe what I described to you purely off memory, because I know this conversation was not saved in Snapchat.
I have thought about it in time, and I do remember. I do remember what you told me. You had the idea of a short film centered around a character who, due to stress, anxiety, outward influences, gains the ability to summon fire. And you wanted it to be a arc, like an arc that instead of having a character go up, it's a character go down. And you wanted a degradation of morality in this character. And you wanted it to end. I forgot how you wanted it to end. But I do remember that.
The whole point of this story is to show a character stressed to the point of falling into complete and utter madness, aka it's just Joker but with fire powers.
I mean,
Nice.
I just realized this now. Alex is giving me weird looks from the back of the room. The tentative working title for this is Embers, which I thought is edgy.
Ed is pretty edgy, I'm not gonna lie.
So, what do you think about co-writing this? Have you ever co-written anything before?
I've not.
What are you talking about?
I have co-written stuff before. I actually co-wrote a script with Alex. It's called Inside the Red Card Killer. It's a serial killer mockumentary
Was that ever made?
that we
It
filmed
was made. It
for
was- It was
Film 3, short narrative production,
Yeah, it was a
last
short-
fall.
It was short narrative production, and then we screened it at the Film and Media Festival.
Yeah, it was entry for Film and Media.
Hmm.
It's, 12 minutes long?
I think it's something
It's decently long.
Something. It's 11 minutes.
But Alex and I wrote that together. I also co-wrote a thing with David once.
Mm.
That was my story. David has helped me work on some transition
Hmm.
parts because I was having some weak struggles there.
Mhm.
That script, if you're in the BG on Screen Discord server and are looking for things you want to direct,
Is open.
that script is just available for anyone to use. It's called Another Bloody Mask.
Oh, hey, wait, what was this Embers thing you were talking about? I missed it.
This is a possible.
So yeah, Embers, for those of us who weren't paying attention or weren't in the room, Embers is a short film that I came up with the concept for a few months ago, and I've been working on just kind of slowly brainstorming plot structure for, involving a character who is under so much stress and pressure from outside sources that they just devolve into madness, and at the same time are developing powers over fire.
You can say pyrokinesis.
I forgot the word, Alex. I forgot the word for pyrokinesis. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Were you gonna co-write this with someone?
I'm co-writing this with Sam.
Oh, fun. That's
It's
awesome.
tentatively titled Embers. We're
Wait,
going to
Sam?
hopefully have this Sam.
That
This Sam right here. This
Fun.
Me.
Sam the host, not Sam not the host.
That is his Discord name.
That is his Discord name indeed. But Sam and I are going to be working on that. Hopefully, we're going to have a script ready in like late November. Is kind of when I said I wanted to have some things
I mean,
done.
yeah.
Because I want to pitch like right at the start of spring semester, so we can film this towards the end of the semester.
Mm-hmm.
I want to actually do something before I graduate.
Probably a good idea.
I have directed
You've done plenty of stuff.
one non-class thing my entire time here, and that was not just another job, which two of the other crew members, no, actually one of the other crew members for is here right now. Alex was not involved with that, Alexa was.
I don't remember what I was doing that. I was
Victoria watched me fold into a 2 foot by 2 foot square space at the bottom of Jonah's staircase that I should not have fit into. I couldn't get out of it.
No wonder your knee is
They
screwed
had
up.
to move all the equipment. Well, the thing is, sometimes you just got to get the shot, and you don't trust anyone else to get the shot, so you fold yourself into the space that you don't fit in to get the shot.
Very true.
And then you have to get everyone to move your equipment away because the only way out is to fall,
Mm,
and then just hope your legs untangle.
yeah.
It wasn't fun. Victoria can vouch for the fact that I did not walk properly again for like a week.
What were you gonna ask me?
What was I going to ask you?
Yeah, I think you were just saying like, what do you think about co-writing?
Yeah, what do you think about co-writing? The concept of this, because you were apprehensive when I approached you with this.
A little bit, yeah. Well, I don't have any. Well, I don't see anything wrong with it. I just think that the initial idea, I'm not really sure how you're going to fit it into like a 10-minute story, because when you pitched it to me, you said that you wanted to see the end of that arc. When it's like when I had said, well, then that's all you're going to have is the end of an arc and not the full arc, and that's a little bit hard to relate to and to find compelling. But considering that we are just college students and we cannot make a full-fledged, even like a relatively, full-fledged film, I understand that's not really an option at this point. But, I mean, I think it's more than possible to do, and I do think that.
I mean, you could also like develop more of it as a feature than do like a writing workshop for it.
So Alex can vouch for this, and Victoria too, because Victoria's in screenwriting right now. So Dr. Barron has several times, drilled into our heads if you're writing a short screenplay for a short film, you don't really have time to give exposition. You kind of got to throw your characters into the situation
Mhm.
and let it happen. You're not looking at a full story. You're looking at a chapter in your character's lives.
Very true.
And in this case, we're going to be looking at the chapter in this character's life that is the fall. We're not looking at what happens after they fall. We're not looking at what happens before they fall. We're looking at the fall itself. We're looking at this moment in time
Mhm.
that is this story. And that's the thing about screening for short stories. You have to be able to take a moment in time
Mhm.
and tell that one singular story.
And the thing that I would say to that is, of course, Professor Barron, very, very smart and very, very knowledgeable.
Have you met Dr. Barron?
I have met her. I have
you had a
never
class
had
with her yet?
I've never
Okay, so you
had
haven't
her.
taken culture, moving image, or screenwriting.
I have not. But
Are those the only two classes she teaches right now?
She teaches a lot of grad students.
True, she does teach a lot of the grad students. Dr. Barron, we're not, we said this because we don't actually know what you teach other than those two classes, because that's the only two classes we're aware of.
I mean,
You're probably not watching this, but if you are,
but one counterpoint I would have to that is that when she says that is a snapshot or a small part in a character's story or arc, I would say that there is context that is relatively known or relatively shared amongst people. And while the idea of stress and anxiety is universally shared amongst everybody, I think it's going to be difficult to express that in a way to say that, oh, that did happen, and because of that, this happened.
that's fair.
And
That's fair.
I do think
I'm
that
speaking to the mic.
and I do think that obviously pyrokinesis is not a universally shared experience.
This is true.
But again, I do
But
not
it
think
makes
that.
for good drama.
Of course, yes,
It makes
it
for
does.
inherent drama.
It's a physical manifestation of the internal conflict.
You know what also
Exactly.
makes for good drama?
Hmm.
So instead of having an argument in your
Mhm.
film, have an insult match.
That's still an argument.
Yes and no.
Mhm.
So, I was
Subtextually,
I
it's
was
hard.
in my North Smith class on Monday, and he pulled up he started talking about improv groups as he does.
Wait, really?
Professor Funstein is a very strange man. We love him dearly.
Oh, that's a good idea.
He brought up the improv groups, and he's like, oh yeah, improv groups. No, you don't just stage an argument on stage because like your characters, you don't have the backstory for this
Yeah.
fight. But if you start insulting each other, well, the audience can get behind that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Audiences understand that an insult match is an argument, but it's a different type of argument than you forgot to flush the toilet.
Like,
No,
all right,
it's,
awesome. I didn't use that toilet, so how am I relating to
that's why like when you see arguments in like big name movies, they're not like about the thing that happened 20 years ago. They're like, I'm gonna use Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as an example. You're a trash panda.
Yeah.
It's
Is
just-
that
it's-
where that came from?
Yes.
Oh.
I think it came from before the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but I know it became popular with Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
The
I
thing
can't
with
remember.
arguments is there's with a lot of arguments there it kind of falls into like did you do this? No, I didn't. Yeah, and that's no anding the yes and that's something we don't want to do in improv. So arguments, if we do them, they just result into insult matches because it's very hard to have a compelling argument that furthers the story in a meaningful way because you can get caught up in an argument for so long. And that can be the whole scene, but we want to get to the point faster.
Is that just because like a no and is more flat than another type of conversation?
Well, this is like the first rule of
Alex
improv.
is giving us improv lessons right now.
if
This
you want,
is
yeah,
actually
if you want to come on
greatly
down and
appreciated.
grab the mic, please
Can
do.
someone give me a time check?
8 minutes.
8 minutes. I'm gonna give the mic to Alex really quick.
Hi everyone. So, real quick, the first rule of improv is yes and. So let's say you're in a scene and you're at the zoo, and you say, and your character says, "Oh my goodness, look at all the elephants," and then I say, "No, those are tigers." What do you say to that?
There's no retort.
Exactly. The scene stops. If Sam says, "Oh my goodness, look at the elephants," I can be like, "Wait, what's that over there? Is that Dastardly Dan opening the cage? The elephants are escaping," because that's building off of what Sam said. It's not negating Sam, just halts the scene in its place, and both scene partners don't really know where to go for that, and doesn't make that the audience isn't interested in that. We always want to keep furthering the scene, and yes, anding is the way we do that. And with arguments, a lot it's sort of like, "Did you do this? No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Blah 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 blah," and it's just kind of this back and forth that is just really tiring. And so, like you said, insult matches. Is this mic on? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Insult matches is like a really quick and easy way to establish that there is tension and an argument, because it's a natural thing that happens, and then also it's just a really quick and easy way to get to the conflict right away, while not halting the scene.
There you go.
Do you want other improv tips while I'm here?
I don't have any, but I think Nathan, I think his point, that served his point very well.
Actually, that served my point wonderfully.
Very well, very rewarding.
There's another rule in improv called "Don't Go Blue," and what that means.
What's my favorite color?
And always think about making smart humor and not potty jokes and other related things. And that is one of the fundamentals.
Then why are we even here? You know?
That is one of the fundamentals of improv. Like, you can say funny things that are toilet humor, but it's like funny for like 2 seconds, and then no one cares. But if that's all your humor is, like, that's not great. What's another tip? It's like basic stuff, taking risks, like making assumptions.
I just thought of something.
Yes.
Would you say that modern jokes like haha Fortnite are basically the equivalent of potty jokes? Because it's kind of like, oh haha, that's funny because it's not. Is that Elliot agrees?
Here's the thing. Well, it's interesting because we try not to rely on like pop culture humor,
Right.
like meme humor. Like, there will be sometimes we will do a scene that is just happens to be set in Minecraft, and that is something that we have done several times.
Right.
And they're all initiated by the same person. Sam, if you're watching this, I love you.
Mysteric?
What?
No.
No, there's another Sam
There's always more Sam.
Sam, who is
in your improv group.
and is also a girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does your Sam have access to the universal Sam pocket?
I don't know what that means.
Do you know that?
I
Have you
mean,
been informed of the universal Sam pocket?
I came up with the universal Sam.
I'm talking about improv here, Nathan.
What is the universal Sam pocket?
Well, you wouldn't know because your name is not Sam.
I'll tell the story in a
This is only knowledge access to Sam's in the multiverse. Anyways, so like, yeah, like basic stuff with like pop culture stuff. We try not to like do that because it's like it dates things really really quickly.
Very true.
Which is why pop culture humor doesn't work in a lot of movies because it just immediately dates the thing. Like.
I don't know what Nathan's doing.
Okay.
I
Nathan is
apologize.
rubbing
Go ahead.
his hand across the wall. It's
Mhm.
the groove.
It's a corrugated wall. It's very
Corrugated,
interesting.
groovy wall.
Mhm.
Okay. But like we try not to like it kind of goes like Fortnite, like haha Fortnite, like that again, like kind of falls into like we want to strive for smart humor.
Right.
We don't want to go into like haha $19 Fortnite because like no one's gonna find that funny.
Among Us.
Yeah,
I
Among
was
Us.
just about to say.
Among
Well, like, you see, it's fun. I know.
Yeah.
Completely what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so we always try to go for that. Yeah, a lot of it is just kind of finding the first funny thing that happens in a scene and then just going with it.
Right.
That's a lot of it, and usually it's half the time it's that someone is like physically not portraying a regular human being, and that is the bit. Like I will go in as animals all the time. It's wonderful. I was a dove / a pigeon last night. It was great. My friend was the watchman, and he was like this the whole time. It was great.
Who's the watchman?
He steals your watch, but he also runs a watch factory. It was a scene where I was like a child prodigy watchmaker, and he was looking for like the next watchmaker, and then he took me under his wing. I rejected my own father, and then I had to make a flimsy watch to reverse the curse of some ghosts that were perpetually stuck in a Kroger gathering beans on March 15th.
That sounds like Willy Wonka, but
that was
watches.
the first set of seeds.
Yeah,
That-
I remember.
yeah. Gets wild. But it's just like it's silly, it's goofy, it's weird. But it's like it's not like haha.
Fortnite.
Yeah. Insert dated reference. So it's goofy, but like we're also being like intelligent about, and we're not like making offensive jokes or
Of
anything.
course,
'Cause
of course.
why would you do that? If you do that, you're a terrible person. And like yeah, that's just like fundamentals of improv and stuff.
There you go.
Thanks for listening to me ramble about things I like.
No, it's always because I mean there's crossover there. I mean not only in writing dialogue but also in actually acting too.
Well, I know a lot of people involved in film like are like into D&D, and that's a lot of improv as well. Like a lot of like making up
I
scenarios.
suck
I need to
at it.
chill.
There's too much math for me.
I suck at improv during D&D so bad that I will write out so much of my character
I need to chill.
specifically for it.
So Zoe's just telling us that Like she has to write a lot of her stuff because she's not the best at improv.
I overthink everything that I say. And I feel immense guilt and embarrassment for anything that comes out of my mouth. So
Welcome to the club.
I know
improv
it's
is extremely
honestly
difficult for me.
that's honestly that's valid. It's something that is it's something to get used to for sure. Nathan, were you gonna show
I'm gonna
something?
show.
Victoria, get ready to hit the shill
I'd
button.
like my chair back, please. Thank you.
No, you can sit on my lap.
Thank you so. Oh, that's not gonna feel good.
How's this
It's a little
working?
stuck.
So, we brought up D&D, so I got a shill now. I've got a campaign with an open seat, so if anyone's interested, I have an open seat. It's going to be a very roleplay heavy campaign.
Are we actually shilling D&D spots?
Do you want the open seat?
When do they meet?
We're going to have our session 0 for character building next Sunday.
What's the setting?
BG.
Life.
Well, because I'm playing a cyberpunk campaign right now.
Ooh.
I need to know, like,
So,
what's
Here, let me pull up the invitation.
Real quick, for anybody who
We just
watches
pulled
this
this up.
VOD or is watching right now,
Nathan,
Chill alarm.
the new Cyberpunk anime on Netflix is actually insanely good.
I need to watch.
I'm not even gonna lie, it's
I'm
fantastic.
gonna pull up
Where's Jeffrey
the
Dahmer?
invitation.
Was Zac Efron?
refuse to watch. No, you mean
No.
Evan Peters.
I thought Zac Efron was.
Zac Efron was
Where
Ted
is the
Bundy in
thing?
that one.
That's right, Ted Bundy.
So-
Yeah, no.
So I'm gonna read this out loud
They're all.
once it downloads. Thank you, it downloaded.
If it,
Thank
meets
you.
on, if it meets on Sundays, I can do it.
We're meeting on
What's it called?
Sundays.
Jeffrey
So I'm gonna do a dramatic reading of this thing that I sent to invite players.
Oh yeah, you sent this to me.
I did. I will. War to end all wars. For thousands of years, the civilizations of Talmud have waged continuous war against each other. As first the regions of the world turned against shut up, Sam.
I'm adding sound effects.
Turned against their neighbors in competition for resources.
thunder
soon-
sounds.
But soon the conflicts turned internal, and each city isolated itself in massive fortresses, cutting themselves off from the outside world. Every year, thousands of children across all the races are conscripted into military service, armed and armored and sent to their deaths in service of city-states. No one is spared from the horrors of the war. Nowhere is safe from destruction. Deep within the lower west sector of the oceanic city of Tower, rumblings have begun of rebellion, of attempts to initiate peace among the city-states. In the dark depths of a city ruled by martial law, the movement has gained power and followers, gathering in taverns and storehouses, moving continuously to avoid the all-reaching arm of the military. Those who seek to avoid their compulsory service, and those who have lost close loved ones to the eternal conflict, spread the word. Themselves silently taken in the night, never to be seen again.
Silently taking into the night.
Far below the central citadel of Tower, these prisoners have been gathered amidst captives of war and citizens of other city-states.
captive of war. Please help me.
Tensions in the prison have never been higher, and fights seem on the brink of erupting between the detained.
Yo, you wanna fight?
And there ends the invitation I sent. And I think we have reached our time here today, folks, so we're going to leave it over to Sam to close this off.
I accept your invitation, Nathan. I will see you. Wait,
Great,
This
I now-
Sunday? This
No,
Sunday?
next Sunday.
Okay.
I now have 6 players, thank you.
Sick.
All right, everybody. I'm so glad that all 4 of our viewers showed up. And if you're gonna watch the VOD, thank you so much. I got you over this, whatever. This is going on the VODs. We have a separate VODs channel. We do not. Do not look for
We're
it.
gonna upload this. We're gonna split this into like each minute, and then we're gonna make a clips channel, and we're gonna post all of it.
I will probably post a D6 after this TikTok.
Okay, no problem. But no, yeah, it's this is an experiment. I think we had a good amount of fun. We had some really good conversations. We bench pressed Elliot again. We learned a lot about improv, and we thank you all guys for watching. We can't wait to do more stuff later on this year. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching On the Couch with BG on Screen, and we will see you guys next time.